the distance. Now we really don't know what this is, although it is a craft of some kind. Is it a craft from another world? We just don't know. Let us know in the comments below what you think it is. Now we're not sure what type of craft this is, but I'm sure I can see beings waving through the window. Are they from another world? You decide. Somebody sent this video of a possible Bigfoot. We've not seen anything this close or so convincing for a long time. What do you think? Leave your comments below. This video was sent in by a hunter. He was out hunting rabbits and stumbled across this thing. We do not know what it is. Leave your comments below.
Phase of moon, you can see them in the sky. Third phase of moon, you know these two guys. Third phase of moon, meet two guys who take no crap from nobody. Now, are you sure you're telling us the truth? Because we'll have to send Goofon. We don't mess around. Goofon's our backup. Oh, no. Please don't send Reacher. Do not send the Goofon crew. Third phase of moon. I understand I may say some things that are cringeworthy and borderline. I am not going to stop talking. I am going to be even more vocal. I can't be somebody I'm not. Third phase of moon. I'm not bad. And neither is third phase. They did their shit in the past. They're not doing bullshit videos anymore. There hasn't been a hoax on purpose.
Trans medium travel. My gosh. The 5 observables. The 5 observables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5, trans medium travel. My gosh.
Next question, Jeff, where are you? Right there.
Yeah. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it.
And can I just say, even though I'm not entirely comfortable at times with the way they sensationalize in their promos, because I thought the promos for our story were a tad over the top at times.
What you're seeing here is momentous.
You think that alien technology
Yes, I did.
I thought the promos for our story were a tad over the top.
We have new, conclusive proof, testable evidence of alien technology.
Tad over the top at times.
Come to me with some of their results, and I basically said these results are shit. So I'm sorry to the people who are so friggin' impatient that they won't get off their butt and go learn this stuff and do it themselves. I'm not your daddy. I'm not here to do things for you. I'm sorry. Get out of your basement and go do something. I've seen some of those snap your fingers reports, and they're garbage. Publish the darn paper. Stop claiming that. This is shoddy work. This can't go anywhere. Who did this? It's crap.
Hello, I'm Tom DeLong, and thanks for joining us live today. This quote above me actually happened to me this past year. I sometimes call to the stars a science fiction Disney, but for adults.
This video has come to be known as Go Fast and shows an object speeding just above the water.
That thing is hauling
That's
ass.
exactly my point.
It's a little less than 2/3 the speed of sound.
How is the craft able to fly so fast?
We can apply basic trigonometry to figure out how far it moved. And in this case, this object moved about 390 meters in 22 seconds. And that corresponds to a velocity of just 40 miles per hour.
That thing is hauling
That's
ass.
exactly my point.
40 miles per hour.
It's a little less than 2/3 the speed of sound.
40 miles per hour.
But how is the craft able to fly so fast?
40 miles per hour.
40 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour.
I got scrapings off Jim's balls. 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 I got scrapings off Jim's balls.
We'll now turn to the business of this game. More than 50 years ago, the U.S. government ended Project Blue Book.
Let me share with you the first video that we have here today, which shows an observation in real time.
There's a bright orb running the length of my pond.
That's the object that we're looking at right there.
Oh, Lord,
in
thank
that
you,
area.
my Lord.
Is
Wow.
that it right there?
And Alexi, what I'll ask is if you can stop it at a certain point.
Okay, if you could stop that. That's not that.
Have we attempted to communicate with those objects?
No. Are you aware of a document that appeared around 2019, sometimes called the Admiral Wilson Memo or EW Notes Memo?
I am not.
You're not. I'm not personally aware of that. Okay. So you're not aware of that?
I'm not aware, Congressman.
This is not worth wasting resources on.
Very evil people are running the planet and want to kill you. Okay? And they're trying to do that, and they're aggressively pursuing this goal right now. And now the earth is much like a tree in which the tree is ripening and the fruit has come to its fruition. Fruit. You see what I did there? Anyway, the things that I was forced to witness, the Draco's eating human beings. And Draco's eating my own body. Okay, one of the things I discovered, which is very weird, is that some of the technology they got in UFO disclosure, they could literally chop your head off and then zip you right back together and bring you back to life like nothing even happened. So there are some sickos who had children get eaten alive and then resuscitate their body from the dead. And that's what apparently was done to me, among other things. That's it. I just want to kill people and drink blood and and rape and molest. That's my goal in life. And that's one of the main things I've had to deal with over the last few months.
Personally, I think this is a strengthening education about what all has happened around this, what was just going to be the first photo of a orange-gray hand and a head. The head is still a question mark, even in Earthfile Support's mind. He's very analytical and very critical, and he did a side-by-side comparison in which it is very true that the eye pattern in the, we'll call it the alleged real photo, versus the 3D created head, the eyes do not match. And you can do an examination and make a comparison, and you will see that. But that does not mean that there isn't a real extraterrestrial, sort of orangish gray being or civilization or species that looks exactly like that photo. And as Buddy pointed out, that's counter intel.
Galaxy, the alchemy of Jesus Christ, is that you will become like him. John 14:12. As I do these things, so shall you do them, and greater things. Cognitive abilities, psychic abilities, telepathy, seeing the future, all of these things are rolled in with that concept. So when we're looking at the possibility of liberating ourselves from the suffering.
We'll just make sure that the connection is clean, and we'll do that tomorrow night. There's just too much to discuss with you, and I just want clean thought of conversation. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm agreeing with you because we have to sell Conscious Life Expo.
We got to do that too. Absolutely. And there's Danny, and he's gone. Okay, so yeah.
No, I'm agreeing with you because we have to sell Conscious Life Expo. We have to sell Conscious Life Expo.
We got to do that too.
We have to sell Conscious Life Expo.
Now, goddamn it, Bobby. I don't care what Chris Mellon said on Fox News. You're not giving money to that Blink 182 fella.
But Dad, they promised to build a spaceship.
No one's building a spaceship, Bobby.
But the Daily Mail reported that.
Those people are all insane.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome. This is a special edition of Truth Seekers because tonight on Truth Seekers, we are going to be doing a panel show, something we have not done in a long time. And there is a link in the YouTube live chat. And with that link, you can join the panel of the show. Tonight, we are celebrating hitting 1 million views. When I started this channel some 3 years ago now, I believed that I could hit that goal in 1 year. But I learned a lot along the way. And one of the things that I learned is that you don't stop in a big goal in your life just because it's harder than you imagine to reach the goal. You just keep watering that garden. And if you just show up every day and you water that garden, surely that garden will grow. And this garden has grown, and I'm thankful for the growth and the continued accomplishments here. We have covered hundreds of great stories over the past few years, and I have taken all of you along with me. And tonight, I will be taking all of you along with me just for a panel discussion, a laid-back discussion. It's open topics, open microphone. You can also call in. We can get the call-in line. Yes, ancient radio technology. I notice we have one person standing by, but the link to join the show is in the live chat, but I'm going to put it in just the same. I think that it's pinned there, or it should be. Let's take a look, and I will be popping out the chat and sharing it with our audience on screen here. So wherever you are, whether you're in the Rumble chat, the Twitch chat, you can join the show. If you are on Facebook, you can join the show as well. I'm just going to say link to join the show, and we will put it there. And anybody can use this to join the show. And we appreciate Troll. 1 second here. We've already got people throwing money at us, which is a good sign for praising the cash tonight. Troll with a kind and generous $10. And thank you also for being a member. Says, let me be the first to donate on your milestone. Well, thank you, longtime show supporter, Troll, for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. We appreciate all of you kind and generous benefactors that have helped us to reach this goal. And we thank each and every one of you for helping us to praise the cash.
This is Trixie from Truthseekers, thanking you for your generosity. I'm gonna praise the cash so hard, those blue chickens turn blue.
Yes. So again, this is an open show, which means all of you people, and I meant to message a few people because many people want to be a guest here and I don't know them very well. So a panel show is a good way to sort of come here and introduce yourself before doing a full show here as a guest. But let me pop out the live chat here. We're going to pop that out and we will. 1 second, I will share that on screen. And we welcome everyone everywhere. We are broadcasting live right now on YouTube, which is generally our home base, but also on Rumble, on twitch.tv/Truthseeker Show, on Facebook Live, and on Twitter Live as well. And let me add the, I'm a terrible show host, right? Let me add the link to join the show to these other areas so that everybody, regardless of where you're listening or watching from, and we appreciate all of you, everyone can join the show. 1 second, link to join the show. And we'll put that there. And I'll go over to Facebook, and we welcome you Facebook Live viewers as well. I have many friends on Facebook who like having that feed on Facebook for one reason or another. Some people like having the feed available on Facebook. Let me say link to join the show there as well. Okay. All right. And I will put it in the Rumble chat and the Twitch chat as well. And we have one person here. Miss Terry, are you there? Hi. 1 second. Let me turn your microphone up because you're coming in a little low. Okay. Okay. Welcome, Miss Terry, longtime chat room person.
Yeah, well, not long time, actually, kind of a new fan. My name is pronounced Mystery, like the mysteries.
Oh, Mystery. Okay. Yeah, no, I was calling Mr. Ian Mystery Eon or something for like a year before he said something. So feel free. Sometimes it doesn't register, but that makes sense. Mystery.
And I just wanted to say the way I found you is I was wondering what in the hell happened to Corey Good. He was such in the spotlight and then he disappeared. And when I started doing my own research, you seem like the one that was like really on it. And I just followed it all the way to the, to the depositions and then I got hooked.
Yeah, that was like a hellish week for us because I'm still not sure if that was the correct advice, but I got some legal advice and they kind of said, you can't just release these depositions. You can, but then you have to do them with commentary or you can't release them. And so going on that advice, we had to go and do commentary on like 8 hours of that guy, so that we knew that we were covered for the release. You know, nobody could really argue with our release of that, and that was I think that was good work because we were the only people. We had the exclusive on having all the depositions. A lot of people had that one that was the most damaging, right?
Yeah.
But we had all of them, so I was proud of that.
Yeah, it was good work.
Yeah, it's funny. I do the same kind of thing with music, right? Like, well, let me see what this band has been up to that I haven't checked in with for a while. So I guess it's the same thing in conspiracy land, right? Oh, and we want to thank Annie Kurtz for a kind and generous $10. It says, "Woohoo! The best show out there. Been here from the beginning. We'll be here for when the first med bed rolls up. Thanks, Stephen Cambian." Well, thank you, Annie Kurtz, for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. We appreciate that. And we have plenty of slots here. So if you guys want to join in, I should send the link to a few different people right now. I'll do that. So, Mr. Ree, tell me, besides Corey Good, what other kind of stuff, what other rabbit holes are you into?
I would say I'm a student of the unexplained, the mysterious and the unexplained. I have quite a tolerance for woo, but that's why I like the skeptics revealing the frauds, and keeps me from going down a rabbit hole that's filled, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I often wonder, like, how deep do I have to get down this before I can just climb out of this rabbit hole? But some people, it's like a lifelong thing. You get stuck in here, and then you want to know what's going on, right?
I find it so interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and we'll take some comments and questions from the live chat as well. Sound other the weather, drink some tea. I have some tea right here, and no, I'm not under the weather. I'm beaten up. I have my children home with me all day, and they like to wake up like at 7 o'clock in the morning, you know. So I've been chasing two boys around all day. Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit run down. Yeah. And let me see. Brandy Phillips is here and says, "I hope we see the cash cloud a whole lot tonight." I wasn't going to use the cash cloud tonight. I was going to use the alternate bumpers that we don't really use because we worry about the monetization. But tonight we're playing a lot of stuff that they just will instantly demonetize us for. So yeah. And Brandy says, "I know a few who are so deep in rabbit holes they can no longer see the daylight." Were you ever, Mystery, into like the Q train stuff?
No.
And
No.
I have like friends and family that are still into it, still swearing I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, come on, JFK is alive. JFK Jr. is alive, and he's going to be Trump's running mate, you know, and all of these other ridiculous stuff. What got you down the Corey Good rabbit hole? You were following him for a while?
Honestly, I think I got into it via David Wilcock because I was actually a fan of some of the raw material, the original raw material. And then I learned that he had been kind of part of their group. He actually did channels with them, you know, they'd sit around and they'd channel raw. So I had, and then he did that horrible thing where he was saying he was the reincarnation of Edgar Casey. So I had my eye on him. And then when he hit Gaia, I started watching, and it took me, I mean, I wish I could say I was, you know, just didn't believe any of it from the start, but I was just like, this is fascinating. Like, I kind of got hooked into the story. Whether I believed it or not almost didn't matter to me. It was more just like, what are they going to say next?
I think a lot of that was designed that way. Like, how wacky can we get, right? I have to admit that I was never into Corey Good, but like I knew so many people that really believed him that I said I have to look into this guy and see if he's as full of crap as he sounds. And it turned out at every turn that you can fact check him, you find out he's lying. You know,
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. Red Panda Koala's here and says, "Congrats on 1 million views, Stephen. What have been some of the highlight episodes moments?" I like the real hard hitting investigative reports that we did, like the Murder in UFO Land series. I really enjoyed the Corey Good depositions because I thought that was so necessary that people hear him speak when he thought nobody was going to hear him. He thought that nobody was going to be able to hear that stuff he was saying. So I thought it was really important to get that out. We've done a lot of coverage on sort of the criminality in the conspiracy land community. I'm proud of that. I really like the investigative stuff, the stuff where I really get to research and dig into something for a while before we present our findings. The problem is that those take forever to get together. So it's one of those things. And we have Stone Hobbit.
Hi there, Stephen. It's good to be
Welcome.
here.
Yeah, good to see you.
I love some of your crazy stuff.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
And I can go down any rabbit hole you so please.
Yeah, what did you think of this latest this new thing, which is like whistleblower mania now? Everybody's a whistleblower.
It's just, popcorn, just make sure it's not GMO. Sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. They've put so much stuff out over the years that if we haven't grasped the reality of it, that it's all just, I'm trying to watch my words here. It's just a show.
We're already demonetized, so that's another thing I wanted. Everybody can drop as many F-bombs as they want. You can curse all you want because we're pretty much writing off this. I'm like, I don't care. I'm playing those old intros that I played tonight. We can't really play them because that's instant. Oh, there's girls dancing. They're fully clothed girls. They instantly demonetize us. So I just figured I'm playing everything tonight. Who cares about the YouTube ad pennies? It's a celebration here. So.
I love it all. I think we're living in very interesting times. It changes every single day. There's something new, but it's going to come to a time where we've mapped it all out. We can see who's doing what. We can recognize the bullshit as soon as somebody says it, and it's like, it's not going to stick anymore. They've got to wake up. This whole UFO thing is just. It's hysterical. I get UFOs. I've seen shit. I've got photos. I've got footage. Anybody who hangs out with me more than 5 minutes gets to actually experience something. So it's like the government's coming out with a certain amount of disclosure and stuff. It's just rubbish. If they were to come out and tell you exactly what they've got, these guys in Parliament and shit would be hung and quartered, mate. Because we would find out, we would discover they've been lying to us, they've been manipulating us. They're not going to do that. They're only going to drip feed. And
I think it's amazing that there's two different people that worked for the United States government whose specialty while they worked for the government was information warfare. And they have both come into the UFO community telling incredible stories of aliens. And we have Midor, the friendly ET, is here.
Sleep alert.
I don't know what that is. And we also have joining us is Richard.
I just want to say to everybody out there that hi, we are
Richard,
real.
no headphones. Richard, you got to have headphones because we can hear you in the background. And we have Mario here as well. Mario's, is it, I always forget, is it Taco or Taco?
Ah! My skin will not stay on.
Oh no. I'm going to stop the screen so we can get a better look at our alien friends. And Mario's Taco, or is it Mario's Taco or Mario's Taco? How do you say it, Mario?
There we go.
I don't think he can hear us or something.
Meldor needs his glasses. Hold on.
Oh boy, this is going to be one of those nights. You never know what's going to happen here when we do these. Like weird stuff happens. I remember one panel show that one guy got so drunk that he fell down. He like passed out live on the show. Yeah.
Oh, forgot my hat. Hold on.
Richard Crawley with a kind and generous $10 super
There we go.
chat. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support.
There we go. That's better.
That's much better. Yes. And I'm always left wondering when people do the masks who the hell this person is for a while. So that's this is going to be one of those shows. Yeah.
I'm here to make sure you're not passing any kind of lies about us. We got a lawsuit against this Dr. Greer guy. We don't know who he is.
The aliens don't know who he is. Wait, say that one more. Say that one more time.
We don't know who he is. We never met before in our lives. It's like the Wheatley Strieber guys. No, we don't poke people in the butt.
Yeah.
See, we go to baseball games. We just hang out. You know, we're here on vacation. I don't know what these people are talking about.
Hey, Steven.
Hey,
Hi, guys.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
I think you're coming through. Let me adjust your mic here. I think you're coming through real hot.
Oh, hello out there.
Hi.
Yeah. Hello, Mario. I was asking you if it's pronounced taco or taco before.
Taco.
Okay, so Mario's taco.
Yeah, it's a great
We
name.
have tacos. They're human meat tacos grown in
Should
labs.
you be eating gyros or euros instead of tacos? If you're Greek?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gyros.
gyros.
Yeah, those are salsa shapes, right?
Yeah, definitely salsa
Nice to
shake.
see you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice to put a face. I always like doing these panels because sometimes somebody's in the live chat and I have this preconceived idea of what they might look like or what they're like, and then they come on the show, and sometimes I'm right. I knew that Mario's taco, sorry, was from Greece. So yeah.
Oh, no, it's a dog. No, that's
I don't even know what's going on, and we've just begun this crazy. We used to do these all the time, and they would get ridiculous, crazy. You know,
right. Cheeto fries. See, we don't do anything. Hang out. We go baseball games. You know, just see the sights. I don't know about this problem stuff because that's just say no way, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but we just don't. No, we don't swing that way. You know, you just hang out. You know.
Randy's saying hello to Mario's. Yeah. The aliens have no. You heard it here first. The aliens have no idea who Stephen Greer is.
No, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that big fat dude here with the UAP thing. I don't know. He has no neck. What is up with that? I don't understand. Do all not have necks?
These live panels do get weird fast. And the one thing I'm going to ask everybody, if you join the panel, you can do anything you want, but no nudity, because every once in a while somebody tries to get a cock through here and I get disgusted. Like, really, dude? You know?
Shit. No, that's okay.
It's never women. It's always some dude that's like sitting on some dirty couch with his balls out.
Yeah, we are here because we heard Earth girls are easy. Ha 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 ha.
It's the last thing you want to say.
That's a movie, isn't it? That's a movie.
Yes,
That's
how we found out.
Yes, we're definitely on our way
all
here.
these radio waves and everything for decades. And we saw that one day and we thought, hey, we need to go there.
I don't know if everybody saw it today, but today we debuted a new video that I just kind of clipped from last night because I thought it was the funniest thing of all of this whistleblower stuff. This was the funniest thing. And that is the Stephen Greer super secret porta potty base. Did you guys see this?
Yes, I saw that. That what I can't see.
Was hyped about
This is interesting. So there's some secret bases, but they have porta potties.
Read into, and
Yeah.
they keep trying to show him the location. Which
This is another thing. There's these illustrations in this thing, and you see that thing in the background. I think those. Speaking of getting crazy, I'm not sure, but I think they're porta potties, and according to these illustrations, there's these secret underground bases that are big enough for like hundreds of people to work in. And apparently they're so secret that the government just lets everybody park their car right outside the secret base. And listen, if you got to take a dump, there's porta potties. There's porta potties outside the secret underground bases. So if you got to listen, sometimes maybe you just got to, you driving to work, you got to take a big dump. And maybe they don't have bathrooms in the underground secret alien bases where they're working on the alien spacecraft. They have such technology that they can back engineer alien spacecraft, but they can't figure out how to put a bathroom in that bitch underground. Instead, they got porta potties all along the back row. This base is ultra top secret. It is housing the most secret things on planet Earth. The greatest secrets of the United States shadow cabal, black budget government, the deep state. It's the most secret base of the deep state. But we're going to put a row of like all these porta potties out there, and we're just going to let everybody park their cars right outside where you go into the secret base. It's a secret base, damn it. Listen, they would not do that. There's Russian satellites that would pick this up in a minute. In a minute. There's Chinese satellites that would pick this up in a minute. You don't put an underground base somewhere and then just let hundreds of people come to work and park right outside in a row and then put porta potties in case we want to take a shit.
Yes, an alien
oh my God, this is so stupid. Oh, this is my favorite part.
We now have
I'm sorry.
military base
serious stuff.
that is in the Dugway sector, the so-called Avery sector, A-V-E-R-Y.
And that's another thing. He said it's in the Dugway Proving Grounds, so we can look on satellite maps.
No, Proving Grounds.
As ridiculous as it sounds, I went looking for big. I actually did go looking for this secret Dugway Proving Grounds. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find shit. So is this fake? Well, this is another anonymous source. And if you look at the logic and the ridiculousness of this whole thing, I think you might agree that this is probably a tall tale.
And
by the way, there's more illustrations with the porta potties and the cars, I think.
It's a huge capacity for parking.
It's a campground, man. It's a campground for us.
Complex.
They don't even use parking lots.
Handed off to
Reminds me of Maxwell 5 when he goes into the
for parking.
phone box.
Why is everybody parking their car on the surface then? This makes no sense. This is a total contradiction.
Next. This gives an illustration of the size of this. You can put easily on the platform that goes down.
You can fit everything but the cars in a bathroom in that bitch. I told you. Okay, so this location has been handed off, according to Greer, with investigators with the U.S. government. Which investigators? Put an airplane in that motherfucker, but they can't figure out how to put a shitter in there? Can we have? You gotta go upstairs and take a shit? But what we can get is, see, there's the entrance to the underground base. Looks like a little shed there next to the porta shitters. I'm sorry, I can't get over the porta potties. Why would you just have a parking lot outside a deep underground military base where everybody can park and shit? Like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm sorry. There are underground bases, but they don't look like this on the surface. The point of an underground base is two things. Usually bunkers to prevent like a nuclear, anything nuclear from reaching them, or to provide secrecy to work on things, I would think. It kind of blows the secrecy thing out when you got, 25 porta potties and 100 or 150 cars out there. And this makes no sense. Why would people not? You got enough space under there for the Air Force One and helicopters and a train, but you don't got enough space for people to park? And you don't got bathrooms? Why don't they got bathrooms in a deep underground base? You're like, listen, this is so stupid and so ridiculous, right? Like, imagine the scientists that work there. Like, listen, I would like to keep trying to back engineer this alien spacecraft, but I really got to take a shit, so I got to go up top. I got to go topside and use the porta potty. I gotta go topside and take a shit before I can continue to back engineer this alien spacecraft. This is so stupid. And people paid
As
$500 for
stupid
this.
As this is, imagine the idiots that helped hype this, that helped this man take money from people for this level of stupidity, this level of illogical, childish, nonsensical stories that don't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
That guy made
sense
money?
at all.
Well, I need a cut of that because I'm actually an alien. That's a part. That's a camping ground. That's not a base. That's a camping ground where we go have barbecues and fishing and I don't know why they say it's a base. They need to take pay for our likeness though in those pictures.
Good point. Robert C is saying Nick Pope is the real Fox Mulder. He investigated cattle mutilations, even though there have been no reported cattle mutilations ever in the United Kingdom. Yeah, isn't that great? And thank you, Jake, aka Wayne, for the kind and generous $5 super sticker. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. So we have open topics tonight. What does everybody want to talk about?
Well, I was looking around and I saw that the Air Force had stolen some of our plans called the Avocado or something like that.
The Avro, yes.
Yes, it's just so weird. I don't know. I mean, these guys need to start paying for our likeness and all that. I think that's copyright infringement, don't you think?
Yeah, no, contact Corey Good. Maybe he could tell you how to sue everybody,
Yeah, and I need a good lawyer. It's like, hey, they tell all kinds of lies, saying we got bases and they're just camping grounds and we throw people butt when we don't. We're just here for the chicks and the beer,
Yeah, I get it. Yes. So, Marios, what is the UFO scene like in Greece?
Well, we have the same stuff. Like with you, we share the same information. Okay, and we have main guys like Corey Good and like that. And
from the glasses, sir.
It's not something weird.
It's not something weird?
Yeah, it's not something weird. We have the same thing in Greece. Sorry, I'm on the side.
And so Stone Hobbit, where does the UFO scene where you are like? What are you guys into?
I'm in New Zealand.
New Zealand, I'm sorry. I just heard the accent.
That's all right.
It's a hard to place accent. I don't know why I thought England. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
at least thought Australian, right?
Nah. I'm a bitzer, mate. I'm a bitzer bloody everything, okay? Down here, nah, there's no scene. There's no scene. Nobody talks about it. I'm the only freakazoid out there talking about the plasma spheres, the cigar shape, the triangle, the interaction with the military. No, nobody cares. They're not looking up. They're too distracted, okay? They're too distracted. But there are some out here who have claimed to have been this, that, and every other bloody motherfucker. And when I've reached out to them 10, 15 years ago, I managed to face them when they turned around and told me what I was seeing was bloody Chinese lanterns. And then, they worked for MUFON. I know that not everybody in MUFON is, a toe rag, but there are a few that are.
A toe rag? Jesus. What the hell is that's a hell of an insult. You're a toe rag.
It's just like, they will discredit you if they can't reach you, if they can't manipulate you, if they can't take your material, they will downplay you. There's so many people that I am aware of out there that have got so much footage, but nobody wants to know. The truth is right in front of us and they don't want to know. Here in New Zealand, we got 1 or 2 things that pop up now and then, but nobody pays it any attention. And it's huge. We get so much traffic. I now live out of the city in the rural, and I tell you honestly, every night I can go out there every night. I can go out there during the day and take photos of weird lights flying across the sky, and I've got them. I've got all that footage. But when I look it up on the plane flight radars and satellite radars and stuff, there's nothing there. There's nothing showing up. So I'm fully aware that as soon as I see something, a flash or whatever, I know the government's already got a photo of it. I know the government's already got the information of it. They've already shown themselves to me, and it's like, come on, man. They're gonna use it. The fact that they don't talk about it as much as they should be, and I know there's a hell of a lot of people out here in New Zealand that see it. They're using it for an agenda. They're using it for an agenda, and there's a handful of us that see the real shit, so that when they bring the fake stuff out, we can be able to, say, okay, well, that's not real. That's not real, and yeah. So we're part of the agenda as well. So we've got to stay in every single day. We've got to stay in our authentic truth to what we see, what we experience, all our feeling states. It's fantastic. I'm loving it. I'm loving where I'm at right now and watching the rest of the people in New Zealand, under the Crown, Aotearoa under Māori. It's phenomenal. I'm waiting for the next big shift to happen, because it just, whatever your frequency is, wherever you want to direct that energy, it's going to show up for you. So, yeah, that's crazy me.
So you say you're capturing a lot of footage and photographs and things like that?
Oh, look, I have for the past 20, 30 years. These things have been around me all my life. And it was like only when I hit closer to my 40s, I was still 35, 40s, I started really actually paying them attention and saying, okay, well, I now know the difference between what they say a ghost is, what they say a demon is, all of that.
We have another special guest here. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Gabber Beast TV is here.
G'day. Congratulations, Stevens, on a million views, mate. Top job, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's bring out the cake, strippers, confetti. Let's go party.
Well, we did have a pole. We did have pole dancers in the beginning. That's the best that I could do.
Nice. Yeah. Yasu from Australia, saying g'day to my fellow Greek, my Greek mate. Πώς πας είσαι καλά? Πώς σε λένε?
Μια χαρά. Μάριος.
Μια χαρά. Μαύρος. Εγώ είμαι Αχιλλέας. Γεια σου ρε, γεια σου. We just said greetings, hello, what's your name? And we just exchanged names.
I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
My ankle is a little started.
All of the cosmos εδώ είναι UFO malakas. I just said in Greek, all the people here are the god of UFO wankers. Malaka means you're the god of wanking.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah.
Like you're number one. You're the number one. Wanker.
I'm a fucking expert at it. Yeah. Nobody tells you that after you get married, you get better at that and do it more than before you got married. They forget to tell you that. It's not in the fucking contract you get.
On Law and Crime, they had body cam footage from the other night where the Las Vegas police were tracking down two green.
Oh, come on. Do you think that story is really a real story, or do you think it's just an elaborate hoax, though? It looks like.
Well, it's Law and Crime. It's like court TV. So if you look up.
Would they hoax ringing up 911? Because then they would get us a federal offense.
I think they're going to get. If it turns out that this is all an elaborate hoax to get publicity and views, they're going to get some kind of charges for filing a false police report. You can't. You want to do pranks. The cops don't care if you do pranks, but don't involve them. They could have been answering another call. somebody could got hurt because they weren't available to answer the other call, or so there may be some criminal charges filed. The last I heard, the entire family went silent now, like they won't talk to reporters and they're not making any more statements.
Case,
Yeah. What do you think about it?
It's fake for sure.
Yeah,
we have and here in Greece weird stuff like that. By the way, main cases, but it's all hoax. It's all hoaxes.
Yeah.
You don't have something weird or proof or again about something.
I saw two versions of the mobile phone video of the kid walking out with the gun. There's aliens in my backyard, and I looked at the two versions of it, and it's like a couple of seconds of like the camera moving and jumping up and down and blurry, and the camera goes down to his butt and then back up to the forklift, and you can see this blurry thing with reflective eyes on the forklift, which could just be like the rear mirrors in the forklift, and everyone's saying that's the alien. And I looked at it and went through it frame by frame, and it's just blurry and pixelated. And I'm like, if there was an alien in your backyard and you just sat there holding your camera still for 1 minute, you would have made $1 million. You would have made $1 million for that video. Why would you only video for 3 seconds and then run back in the house like a scared little kid? You know what I'm saying? It's a bit sus. If you filmed that for just 1 minute and just held the camera still, you just made an instant $1 million. Instant.
Well, people could have taken a screenshot a little while ago and got a real picture of an alien.
I feel tall. That's right.
But New Zealand is a lot like Australia. There's like no UFO scene. There's no conferences. No one gets together. There's just like a couple old people, and they do the UFO this or UFO that, and send some letters out once a month or something. And there's just like nothing here, nothing. America, it's huge. You got like the thing in the desert and all these conferences, and all the grifters get together and talk all their stories and make my fantasy stories. And here, there's just nothing.
Well, how do you feel about?
We have in Greece, we have a UFO scene. But it's all hoax. I mean, I investigated everything in Greece.
Yeah.
And I didn't saw something. They believe that Greeks are aliens or something, because they have the old ancient Greece, and the whole.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying now. All the UFO cult people, they're saying the Greek god story, the story of the Greek gods. The Greek gods were aliens and had. And like when Thor had the hammer with the lightning coming out, that was an alien, and he had a special technological device weapon that shot lightning bolt out. They're changing all the ancient Greek stories into it was alien this and alien that. It's the Greek gods. Leave them alone.
That's true. That's true.
How do you guys? I live next to a little town that has that had a UFO festival the other day. It wasn't anything major. There's like UFO sighting back in the 80s or whatnot in Whisper, Virginia. That was on the. It was on.
Yeah, that's when you get the real B. That's when you get the real C and D scene. Like I just saw there's a UFO conference, and like that guy David Adair was the big attraction. The guy with the alien engines, and he's got billions of dollars, and he's going to compete with NASA. He's just a big bullshitter, that guy.
He's the new Elon Musk.
Do you see anything wrong with like a little town just having a little UFO festival?
No, I guess, but they should hire somebody decent, not somebody that's just going to sit there and bullshit for hours. You're like, this guy's like, oh yeah, the Saudis gave me $5 billion to start my own space agency, and he's been saying that shit for like 5 years. We never seen a spaceship yet. He's just. I did one show on him, and it still gets comments like, I think it's him going in there arguing that he's a real scientist and stuff, because nobody would care to so passionately defend that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's him in the comments.
He's using bots.
Yeah.
I just
Searching this topic since my 15 when I
thanks,
was
Walter Bosley.
15. I was searching this topic in Greece and in USA, and I made research. I mean, you can't even think how much I searched all this topic, and I found nothing at the end. Nothing. Everything is a hoax.
Did you find the lizard man there? They live underground.
Nothing. Everything is
And
a
the ant
hoax.
and the
mean
ant
it.
alien. The ant alien lives underground in Florida.
Oh,
Yes, sure.
Did they get like some of those classified
I
documents?
am into this world for so many years, and I didn't saw a smoking gun. Something.
Yeah.
They don't give us something.
It's all
No
90%
evidence, only
fake.
stories, and nothing.
It's all
Burger.
90% fake. Nothing burger to make money. Fantasy story.
I would love to like wake up one day and say, "Hey, we got aliens, and we can go faster. We can go wherever we want now." Like that BS about the having to hide the advanced technology from everybody. It's like within a few years of jet technology being like widespread in the military, it trickled down to civilian life. It just doesn't make any sense because businesses would want to take stuff and send things instantly wherever. You know what I mean? It's just, there should be like a RICO thing about Bigelow. Really?
Yeah,
I'm
and Patty
serious.
is asking if Cliff High is still around. Yeah, Cliff High's. I think he left YouTube though, and he's on like BitChute and Rumble now or something. But he's still making videos. Last I checked in a while ago.
You heard a Trump thing about calling themselves Magadonians now? Well, apparently that's a UFO cult thing that's QAnon.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're supposed to be like super soldiers.
I don't
So
know.
I'm just like,
I've never read anything QAnon. I don't even
No,
know
me
what they're
neither.
about. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know. I can live without knowing about them.
it's some crazy shit.
Willowy 13, the ant people. Yeah. There's some funny stories out there, Willow 13.
You guys are lucky out there, man. You don't have to deal with this stuff here. I run into people like that once in a while. Just them. There's like this big thing on the internet now where like Diablo 4. You ever play any games? You heard of Diablo 4?
Oh yeah, I've heard of Diablo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Diablo
Well,
4
apparently,
looks amazing.
yeah. Apparently, there's things going on the internet that demons are like coming through the game and attacking people.
The same thing is on the Doom 2.
Well, I have a friend who had a code for it, right? But he's big time religious and everything, and he just gave it to me. It's like a $70 game. So I'm afraid to ask him if he was thinking that the game was going to like open the portals of hell and demons come out and attack him while he's playing the game.
I don't think
Get your money's worth.
the demons are not going to come out of anywhere. They're already here. There's forces at play and frequencies at play 24/7, and the governments are aware of what we are interacting with, and it's a bloody full-on harvest and a distraction, a huge distraction, only drip feeding us little bits of information and using it against us as soon as we wake up to a new bit of information.
Oh, that's self-disclosure.
I can't stop laughing. I can't.
Information.
Yeah, I can't stop laughing at it. From where I'm at in New Zealand, when I get the messages and news articles from what's going on in America and around the world, I just got to sit back and laugh.
Yeah, but doesn't most of the UFO stuff all come out of the United States? I've had other people tell me that. Like most of the UFO stuff is all coming out of the United States.
We get it from China as well.
Yes, Stephen. We have the same thing in Greece with main cases. Okay.
Yeah.
But every case is a hoax. I mean it. I did my research for years.
Yeah.
Are psychos.
Every secret.
Even
Like every
I
sacred.
searched the Amazitia case in Italy. You know that this case.
Yeah. The media is only going to pick up on the fake stories, guys. They don't want
It
the
was a
real
big
stuff.
story. It was
Well, if
also
it's a slow news day, yeah, they're gonna run with it because they got nothing else to talk about. And they just like for liability purposes, they say we're just asking questions. Is it really this? Is it really
I'm starting
that?
to believe into nothing.
I
mean,
thought that whistleblower thing was funny because News Nation at the beginning of it, they said we haven't verified any of his claims, so decide for yourself. Like, you're supposed to be a goddamn news channel. You didn't verify any of the claims. We have to do that for you.
Man,
And now that story seems like it's falling apart fast because that guy's making more and more wackadoo claims, and a lot of the stuff they originally reported wasn't accurate at all.
I was
It
so
all
hoping
misleading.
they at least have a picture. I mean, a real photograph instead of like a artist rendition. Like, hey, we had a courtroom artist go out there and like,
Yeah, that Corey Good or that Stephen Greer thing. That's all it was pretty
the video
pictures.
said, yeah, he
Just
does
pretty
good work.
pictures for like 4 hours. Real nice drawings, but they had no evidence, nothing.
It was a nonsense.
Yeah.
But they really consider it. Area 51, they have porta potties so the aliens can chuck a shit.
Yeah.
I think the
The
secret
best-
is alien poo is really element 115, and that's how they power. That's how they.
I
power
thought
the
that
UFOs.
was the best evidence that they had. The best evidence that they had was the porta shitters, because everybody puts porta shitters on top of a secret underground base and makes people go upstairs and use a porta shitter while they're working at a top secret base. It's so stupid. The whole thing was stupid.
Well, here's the thing, like Lazar, if he knows all that stuff, right, knows how to like rebuild a engine or whatever, why doesn't he patent it and write a paper and get a Nobel Prize? I mean, it's that simple. It's just, hey, you know what? I could patent this and like make a bunch of money, and I could also get a Nobel Prize for a good paper on it. Why don't I do that? But no, I'll just hang out and like, sell some hose on the side and,
Sell some hose on this. What?
Sell some hose. He's a space pimp, right? He's a space pimp. He sells some hose. You get my money.
That would be Bob Lazar. He was the space pimp. He was
That's
verified.
what I said. I thought
because that's what credible scientists do. They wake up and they go, you know what? I'm sick of this science stuff. I'm going to start a whorehouse.
Just
And that's
call
what
me
he did.
Star Slut.
Yeah, and the whole story is funny because there's like 5 different versions of the story, and one version of, oh no, I just put the computers in for the whores. That's all I did. I helped the whores with computers because whores are good at banging and sucking. They're not good at working a computer. So they need a top secret government scientist to come in and show them how to work the computer. And but in the court filings, he was full on partner with the madam. He owned the whorehouse.
Yeah.
So just incredible.
Where do you find these court documents?
Robin.
Like Jessica or something like that?
No, I don't know. They were being passed around for a while. They're ancient though. It's from the early
okay.
90s, I think. I think it's like 1990 was that case. It was not long after he came out with his story about the aliens. He invested some money and he's ran a whorehouse.
Yeah.
So
well, I have the most honest to God proof there's no aliens. And that's the fact that Donald Trump doesn't talk shit about them. It's the truth. That dude will sell nuclear secrets, used to wipe his butt in the bathroom, but not a word about aliens. Ever. So there you go. There's no proof about aliens because, if there was, the guy would be talking about and trying to sell it.
Yeah, I often thought that too. Like, if he knew any secrets, he couldn't keep a secret. He would be talking shit on Twitter. Like, I got the UFO file, bitches. I know all about them greys and reptilians and shit. And I'm gonna make them pay for the space wall.
I miss the Hangar 18 days, Wright Patterson stuff. Cause I like 89 is when the Area 51 stuff kind of caught on big. But before that, it was all right about Wright Patterson and stuff like that. It's like, that's where they're taking the UFOs at. Doing all this groovy stuff with it. And then Lazar came out. And I remember the first time I read about him was like in Popular Mechanics or Popular Science.
Yeah, probably me too. My dad used to get those when I was a kid, and
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. And then I don't know, man. The whole where you were talking about the Close Encounter third con thing, I was thinking about that too before I started watching you. I was like, you know what, that looks familiar, and I was like, oh, it's in the movie. Okay, it's also in the Andromeda Strain too, I think.
Yeah, a lot of these grifters steal their ideas from science fiction movies, and
yeah,
especially older ones, because they think people won't see some, movie from the 1950s. A lot of that early contactee stuff was just the day the Earth stood still.
Mm-hmm.
The same story, but they changed it a little bit, and
Or from the Twilight Zone, if I remember.
yeah, there was a couple of great stories in that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Travis Walton.
Yeah, that's right.
Or Quantum Leap. Now they go backwards and forwards in time and interdimensional travel. And
oh, really?
That's an
remember
old
the
one.
show Quantum Leap? The guy would always go backwards or forwards in time into a different body, and he had to find his way to his friend to go try and get back to his new body, back to the
that was a good idea for a show. He would like leap into other people's lives and have to live their life for a little while trying to get to the next leap or something, right?
That was a great show.
That's actually. Have you ever read the Dark Tower series by Stephen King?
Yes.
Okay, drawing of this through. You remember how the gunslinger is going through doors and going into other people's bodies through astral projection?
It's been many years, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's where they got the idea for that from. It's like I just like come up with something original, man. I just or give us a good plot that's still from a science fiction novel.
But what about sliders? That was kind of like that too. They would slide into these alternate Earths, and they were trying to get back to their Earth. So, and every one of the Earths, things were a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good concept.
Had a story idea for Quantum Leap where he left it. Had a story idea for Quantum Leap where they he leaped into his dad's body, and if he doesn't impregnate his mom at a certain time, he won't be born.
Oh, that's pretty crazy. That reminds me, there was breaking news from Corey Good about Earth women not long ago.
Were they easy?
No, remember, apparently or allegedly, the way this story goes from Corey Good is, and I think this is by design because it's all old ladies that follow Corey Good and David Wilcock. But apparently, Wilcock said that there's these really hot dude aliens that look like Thor. And they're from the planet Saturn or maybe Venus. I don't remember. And they come to Earth, but they only want to bang old broads. Like he actually said that. That was like part of
grandma's porn, man.
That was like part of a video update that he made. That was like secret space update. Like I don't know if you haven't seen it. You know what? We're gonna play it. We're having a celebration. If you're just joining us, of 1 million views here on Truth Seekers. Woo-hoo. And here was one of our previous stories, a breaking news update. And panel members, just hold on, and we'll be back on the other side of this.
Okay.
Oops, accidentally hit the button. But yeah, we are at war, and it is a different war than we have ever witnessed. This rogue galactic federation that many are so excited to be in communion with were kicked out of Andromeda. They were fighting with the negative in that galaxy, and they are headquartered on a planet called Venus. And we have, so see if this story sounds familiar. We have angelic looking ETs from Venus who are coming down to Earth and having affairs with women who they find fair. And in this case, it's elderly women, but I guess they like more mature women. I don't know. And in this case, it's elderly women, but I guess they like more mature women. I don't know.
Wow, did you hear that? The aliens from Venus, they only want to bang old broads, right? Yeah, make sure you understand that. Look, this is a Truth Seekers exclusive story, okay? This is a new Truth Seekers exclusive story. According to Corey Good, there are aliens from the planet Venus coming down to Earth to find women that they find fair. But apparently, those aliens from another planet coming here only want to bang old broads, okay? They don't want to bang any young hot broads. They want to bang old broads. Maybe they got an old broad fetish, a mom fetish, grandma fetish, who knows? And this is not supposed to, this is serious, okay? This is some serious shit we're talking about. Those aliens want to bang old broads. Where does he get this from? How, in what universe does he think this sounds like it makes sense? Okay, there's these aliens, and they're coming here to bang human chicks, but they only want to bang the old ones. Apparently, they like old broads, right? Or what do you say, mature women? Jesus.
So,
yeah, I don't think it's exciting or good that some goddamn aliens from another planet in our solar system are coming here to bang our old broads. All right? Some of them old broads are still hot and cougars, and they're definitely still bangable. And I, for one, I will speak for all of Earth and all the men on Earth when I say that we, the men of Earth, do not want aliens from another planet coming here to bang our hot chick old cougars. All right? So, there's a lot of men on Earth that are getting a little older. They're divorced. They never got married, whatever, and they need a piece. All right? And them old cougars are easy targets sometimes. So I want to just say, for the benefit of Earth people, that Corey Good should go talk to those aliens and tell them to stop banging our old broads. I am absolutely convinced that if we just let them bang our old broads, they're going to be banging our young broads next. Okay? Can't have them banging our young broads. If I'm telling you right now, if we let these aliens bang the old broads here, they're going to start with banging the old broads and the cougars, and eventually they're going to want to bang the young hot ones, all right? And we do not need that competition. Have you seen pictures of these aliens? Those are hot dudes. Those are hot dudes. They look like Chris Hemsworth from Thor. Am I saying that right? I think so. Listen, we do not need this kind of competition, okay? And I'm going to just show you. Look, I'm going to show you. We can't have these. Look at these guys. Look at this. You want to compete? Do you really, as a human male, want to have to compete with those Nordic alien men? Look at that. Look at that. Blonde hair, blue eyes, high cheekbones, perfect skin, perfect teeth, probably perfect nails, probably, right? Look at this. Do you want to compete with that dude for old broads you're trying to bang? Or worse yet, do you want to compete with that dude for young broads you're trying to bang? Come on, man. Corey Good, Corey Good is bringing us terrible news because all men of Earth are right now, we have to compete with some hot alien dudes that come here to bang our old broads. And I'm telling you, if we let them bang our old broads, they're going to want to bang the young hot ones too.
No, you can't give these aliens an inch.
That's quality breaking news right there.
That's for sure.
Isn't that like the plot the Cocoon?
Yeah, I just don't know where he got that from or why he thought, you know what? My audience is mostly older ladies, so I'll tell them that these hot alien dudes want to come here and bang them, and they'll love it. Like, it's so stupid.
It's like the Cosmopolitan and Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard too, but there's a new kind of jeans. These they're Stephen Greer jeans. Did you hear about this? From UFO Garage has the exclusive story on it. And by the way, you can subscribe to UFO Garage. It's in the description of our video. There's these special new jeans out by Stephen Greer, and there's something else here. Let's take a look.
Comfortable, durable, stylish, customizable extra room in the left or the right pant leg. It doesn't matter if you lean to the left or to the right. Just like the UAP topic, these jeans are non-partisan. You've been waiting for disclosure long enough. You've also been waiting for a pair of non-partisan jeans. The wait is over for both disclosure and these jeans. Jeans by Greer.
Apparently,
That's
he's not.
hysterical.
He's not making enough money selling disclosure, so he had to come up with a sideline, right?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, God.
He goes out and buys like Old Navy and he just checks the price up. This has alien sperm on it. Here you go, girls.
Oh, God.
Yeah, remember that one guy? We called that story PhD Pantygate. That alien abduction researcher, David Jacobs, he was telling this woman to send her panties while she was under hypnosis. Send me your panties, but don't tell anybody that I told you to send me your panties. Let's keep it a secret. Like, that's creepy as fuck, dude. That's
like the Marduk stuff, right?
No, that's so creepy.
Jesus Christ. This is insane. I mean it. And I didn't have an idea about this. First time I listened to this. I'm yours.
Yeah, and apparently, you know, whistleblowers are all the rage now. UFO Garage did a great piece on whistleblowers too. Let's share that. And again, you can subscribe to UFO Garage. It's in the description. Wait a minute. Here.
Good evening, America. I'm Deb Niederlin with Action Journal News. This evening, we have the pleasure of speaking with an ex-military whistleblower who claims to have worked at a secret facility. Even though we're concealing your identity this evening, could you tell us a little about yourself?
Well, I'm from the Midwest originally, and joined the military when I was 18, and I've been working there up until recently. So I was involved in a number of black budget projects, including underground military bases. I saw all kinds of crazy stuff there. Ask me about it and I'll tell you. I'm an open book.
Very interesting. Now, where are the aliens from?
Right. So I get that question a lot, and I will tell you. I'll tell you that it's you're not going to like what you hear, and a lot of people aren't ready for that answer yet. But I will tell you. I'll be straight up, forward. Always will be with you. That's who I am. That's my background. I was taught to serve the public and to be on your side, so yes.
Okay. Why is the government so secretive about what we're seeing?
What?
How do the aliens travel?
Yes, so I'm so sorry. Yes, so absolutely. The American public needs to know what I saw. And what I saw, I can tell you, it's frankly very terrifying and very interesting. And you're going to want to know what I know. And I'm going to lay it all out there today. I'm laying it on the line. I'm going to be as straightforward with you as I can be without crossing any lines. But I will tell you everything I know.
Have you ever been abducted? It seems that he's falling asleep. Should we move to the next question? Okay. Who booked this guy? Who booked this? You're fired.
I'm sorry. What was the next question?
Well, this has been a complete waste of time with Action Journal News. I'm Deb Niederlin. Good night, America. Gotta hide the cord. Of course you hide it. What do they pay you people for? How's my hair? Wonderful. I can always trust you, Deborah. My name's Deb. Sorry.
The whistleblower craze is in full effect, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of them. And here's Terry Joyce, who's always up for blowing a whistle. Boy, that sounded terrible, didn't it? Welcome, Terry Joyce.
Hey, hi,
Not
everybody.
my rabbit hole.
Hi.
Yeah, Terry Joyce is from Not My Rabbit Hole on YouTube. You should look her up if you're not already a subscriber. You would enjoy it. Are you done fighting with these crazy people yet, Terry?
Yeah. I'm done. Yeah, I've been.
Terry's show for the past 3 weeks have been like, this crazy bitch said this, and now this crazy bitch said this, and now this crazy bitch said this, and now this other crazy bitch said this too. And I try to follow it, but after a while, it's just like, all right, she's covering the crazy bitch story. I don't know what to think. What the fuck is going on, Terry?
Well, I know I got tired of it. I just finally went, I got to move on from this. But some of the research that I was doing concerning the 17th letter of the alphabet has caused this. I think it's a manifestation of drama that they keep people distracted under. So it got pretty scary. Like I had to make a couple of police reports and stuff. So it was kind of like, the bar of the harassment rose to, not such a great area. But I pretty much got it I think I got it under control now. So I'm moving on. Yeah.
I don't think that the crazy are going to let you go. That's the problem with crazy. Once they get a hold of you, then they start watching your show and everything you say, and then they start making videos, making you out to be the bad person, and it's been going a while now. And they are batshit crazy. These people that she's fighting with are batshit crazy.
They are.
I've been telling her for 3 weeks. I'm like, step away from the crazy, Terry Joyce. This bitch is crazy. Just say, bitch, I don't have crazy pills. I can't even translate what the fuck you are saying. Leave me alone, you crazy bitch.
Right, yeah. I mean, screaming and yelling and just really weird shit. And I'm like, wow. But here's the thing. I mean, yeah, they probably are going to continue. Matter of fact, I think they're probably going to start at 8:00 tonight on me on a channel. But it's like, I can't control it. So what the only thing I can do is just go about my business now. I mean, like I'm interested in this whole David Grush disclosure and the commentary that everybody's going on. I think I'd rather focus on watching that unfold and do commentary than at the moment.
You mean watching it? I think you mean watching it fall apart because. And by the way, this is when I get pissed off because, there are these UFO circle jerk shows that are calling this guy the second coming of Christ, and they're getting 500 live viewers, 1,000 live viewers, right? And we did like real reporting on him and showed that he went to the Canadian Parliament and had meetings with Gary Nolan and Ross Coulthard and him, and nobody really cared. It's kind of sad. People don't want the truth behind that guy. They want him to just confirm what they already believe. The aliens are here. We got these bodies. We got an intact craft. And it appears that everybody that he is connected to is all the same people that brought us the TTSA scam, fake disclosure,
David Grush's information, he's put nothing new on the table. He's just said we got crashed discs and dead alien bodies. That's Roswell. That story's from 1947. Where's the new material? Yeah, where's the new material? It's just like recycled an old story.
Well, he's definitely not saying anything that hasn't been already discussed. So it's kind of interesting to watch an outlet like News Nation and then to see some of the other outlets kind of mildly, I'm talking about in the mainstream media, pick up and go with this particular story. I think the real problem is that there's no data. There's still no data. There's still a smoking gun, and until that can really be presented to people, it's still going to be in this sort of.
Yeah, I think it's going to take. I think it would take one hell of a piece of smoking gun proof or evidence that would be irrefutable and undebatable before people actually pay attention. Because I think largely it's just to most regular people, this guy just came across as just another wackadoo saying crazy things without any evidence. And there's always some convenient excuse like, well, I have the evidence, but it's classified, so you can't see it. But I showed it to Congress. Yeah, whatever, you know. And now it appears that a lot of the original reporting was completely and totally inaccurate on him. Like the people that sold the story misled everybody, that they massaged all the data. They were very deceptive and manipulative to make the story seem plausible or real. They kept hammering on his credentials. And I'm sorry, but this would not be the first time that a guy that has a lot of good credentials came out and said wackadoo shit and then never proved it. I did that whole show on whistleblowers. None of them ever proved anything. You know,
I watched the video, the interview of him the other day, and then I watched another guy who claimed to be a profiler. Now, these are just some of the things that I do, and I was watching it, and it's like this guy has been programmed to be put in this position. Yeah, he might be telling the truth, but the truth as he sees it, as he's been shown it, but he's definitely part of the agenda, and I feel honestly, that it's just another agenda to see how many people are being sucked into this shit. Okay, it's just like, come on, we're way past waiting for the government to disclose anything, and when they do, it's just rubbish anyway. There's enough of us out here having real bloody experiences. None of us can actually say we know 100% who these things are, what these things are, where they come from. And as long as we stay in our authentic truth about that, we're going to find some proper fucking information. We don't need the bloody government. And it's like, it's just a bloody joke when I see these whistleblowers coming out. And you're saying old whistleblowers. We've been around 20 bloody years watching these guys develop their stories. Come on, I've watched.
Yeah, and the other issue is that, you know, I have a real issue with them even using the term whistleblower because, like, Snowden had terabytes of data he gave to reporters, and it all panned out to be real and accurate and pristine data that was real, and backed up everything that he was saying. And then we've got, you know, of course, Assange with hundreds of terabytes of government videos and documents proving all kinds of, I don't know, I guess you could say like, I don't want to go out on a limb here, but, you know, all the stuff that Snowden had, he was a whistleblower. He had all kinds of data. His website, at least, would be considered a whistleblower site. And Chelsea Manning had data and evidence to present. And all of these people had consequences. None of these UFO whistleblowers ever get arrested or, you know, they get arrested for running a whorehouse, but that was completely unrelated, you know, like it's childish. It's like LARPing nonsense to me, you know. Here's another, and then the other issue is that there has now been 2 verifiable government information warfare specialists who came into the UFO community and started telling fantastic fairy tales about aliens. You know, I don't think that's a coincidence. Two different, you know, information warfare specialists. That is beyond weird. You know, like, what if 2 information warfare specialists, Terry Joyce, like infiltrated the Star Trek community? You know, like that would be on the news or something. Like, why are these CIA people infiltrating the Star Trek community and manipulating the Star Trek community. But somehow here in UFO land, this is just okay, you know? And people are looking to these information warfare specialist plants, in my opinion, to you know, give them the fairy tales that they want to hear. So do we just forget this person is trained in information warfare? This is it's crazy.
Well, I just wonder if it
everything happened at the same time. They came out at the same time. That's the good stuff.
Oh, we have Mr. Ian joining us. Welcome. He never knows. This guy has like some of the most advanced artificial intelligence systems on planet Earth. He can't work a fucking microphone every fucking time. Come on, Mr. Ian. I can't hear you.
Hey, Mr. Ian.
Hi, Mr. Ian.
Oh, look, he's got a portal on his bookshelf.
I think he's still trying to work his fucking microphone. He's a super genius. Yep. See? Every time. He's got like all this AI software that can like do all this amazing stuff, right?
That's right.
Oh, there you are.
There we are.
There you go.
You
The
can
man
still
with
hear
the
me.
golden
Okay.
voice. And for those who are unaware, Mr. Ian is our announcer here because he's got this silky radio voice kind of thing going on, right? So I want to thank you for all of your help, Mr. Ian, and Spooky as well for helping me to get to this milestone of 1 million views for our show here.
We do it for the love. We do it for the love.
See,
Certainly.
he's got that radio voice. Yeah.
We're so proud of
Very
you,
manly
Steven.
voice.
It's
It's
great.
a very manly voice. I love it.
Well, I have an attitude of gratitude. I'm thankful to all of you because certainly there's so many people helped push the show and posting the show on all their social media to help us to grow the show. And we want to thank Matt Alfred for kind and generous $10. Said enjoyed everyone's insights today. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. And Brian Verkler is asking if you're a voice actor, Mr. Ian. I don't think so, but he could be.
It's been suggested in the past, but no, I've never pursued it. Congratulations, 1 million views. We got that.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Congratulations.
Yeah, I thought it was going to do it in a year, though. I had no idea it was that hard. I don't know if I was overconfident or I just didn't realize how hard it was because, you know, there is so much competition now to get some eyes and ears on yourself it's difficult, you know, and I still wonder how we do some of the things that we do when we have those bigger shows and have like a huge audience. You know, I think about when we started the show and I'm not kidding you. I think our first show, we had 4 people watching. And, you know, that's a hard pill to swallow because I worked on the set and the lighting and I worked on the music and the bump, you know, the intro and the outro. And then got a good guest. Our first guest here was Jason Quitt. And I thought, oh, well, Jason's got a pretty good following and he writes a lot of books people like. So people will tune in. We had like 4 people, but you just, you know, keep going and watering the garden and eventually you have 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 100 people, 200 people, 300 people sometimes if you're lucky. And you know, one of the things I like is the sky's the limit. You don't know where the upper end is. Just keep.
It's that first 1,000 subs. That's the first mark you go for. And
yeah,
I've been with a few channels getting them to 1,000 subs, but we're on the 10,000 subs mark now, Stephen. 10,
yeah, that was my 2 original goals.
Set your
just so
sights.
everybody is aware, my 2 original goals for the show, and I knew these were big goals, but I had no idea they were that big, was 10,000 subscribers and 1 million views. I thought I would hit both in a year, and here we are, it's 3 years later. You know, and you know, it's funny though, today I had somebody, a real critic, like telling me, oh, you know, you're doing all these things wrong. And, you know, I know people that grew to 10,000 subscribers in less than a year. And, you know, my issue is, well, they show me their YouTube. And if, you know, if they're not doing something shady to get there, you know, we've been very ethical with what we do here.
We didn't. Oh, welcome back. I'm sorry. We didn't do a lot of clickbait garbage. We didn't interview these big name guests and let them tell their fairy tales without challenging them. So it's almost a miracle that we got this far doing it without like being complete sellout assholes like so many people that I've seen.
The best way.
Yeah, I think for long term, I have to be able to live with myself, and I'm sure there is some real dickheads that started a little bit after me that are past me, but they do the circle jerks. We're not doing the UFO circle jerks, so it's a lot more difficult for us because we're not just selling out to sell the show,
But integrity is important.
Yeah, and I was reminded too, somebody asked me of some of my favorite things from the show, and some of it is these pre-produced videos. This was probably my favorite. I think this is the funniest video that I ever made, and I can't really take credit for it. I happened to, I think my wife or somebody sent me some TikTok videos, and this was all over TikTok for a while, and it was the giant slide from hell. So, and this is our series Strange Stories that I hope to reboot and start making more videos. I think this would be good because we need to laugh.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Stephen Cambion, and you're watching Strange Stories. Today's story comes to us from Detroit, Michigan. Does anyone else have fond memories of a giant slide when they were a child? For me, I have incredibly fond memories of a giant slide at Dutch Wonderland. Every year when my parents took me there, that was the first ride that I ran to. Couldn't wait to barrel down that slide. At Dutch Wonderland, it's called the Fun Slide. And it's giant, but not quite as giant as the slide at Belle Isle. Many residents of Detroit, Michigan were very happy recently when they heard that the giant slide that they grew up with, knew and loved in Belle Isle, would be refurbished and soon reopened for families all over the area to enjoy. Unfortunately, for people that were some of the first riders after it reopened, things did not go quite as planned.
I don't know why this is so funny, but it is.
I suppose momentum has a large part to play when you get older.
They put too much wax on it. Oh no. Yo, and how was you as a parent watching this shit and you put your kid on it anyway? You're like, remember when you talked back to me, you little bastard? Get on that slide!
How do they ensure that all the sections join properly and it doesn't work like a grater?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh shit. I just keep
These
saying
videos
injuries.
These videos were all over YouTube and TikTok for a few weeks. I can't believe they just let people keep riding this motherfucker. Like,
I've reached out to a few of the mothers of those children that were brave enough to take the first ride. Here's what they had to say. I also talked to one of the fathers and showed him a tape of their child who was very brave and one of the first riders. Here's what he had to say. Today's strange story is literally the slide from hell. So for days now, people were posting videos of people brave enough to try this slide. It became a sort of a running joke in the area. You got to see this slide to believe it. And you do. Look at this. This is a crazy story. I reached out to park officials who told me that these problems are being addressed and that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Earlier today, I reached out to park officials who told me two things, both good news. These problems with the slide from hell are being addressed and taken care of. And secondly, there is some good news. No children or adults who were brave enough to ride this slide from hell were seriously injured. But when I asked the official that I was talking to if he would let his children ride the slide, he said, hell no. Until next time, friends, I'm Stephen Cambion, bringing you another strange story.
Y'all ready? Hey, you can break your back on the giant slide. You can even break your neck on the giant slide. You can even bump your head on the giant slide. Then watch your hands and your legs on the giant slide. It's like jumping off a roof on the giant slide. Man, you can lose a tooth on the giant slide. It ain't much you can
Right,
do
hold
on
on.
the giant slide. What's going on with this new fucking giant shit slide? Get on my nerves, so I sent them to the giant slide. Hold on, baby, it's about to be a giant ride. You go down, baby, it's about to be a lot of fun. I don't know what happened. All I heard was a lot of crying. It's the same giant slide we got on the chill. This new slide looking like they jumping off of a bill. This new slide, you gotta take a Tylenol to get on. If your kids getting on your nerves, make them get on. You'll get on your nerves, so you make them get back on. This new giant slide break necks and backbone. Then you just lay the kids down soon as you get back home. Let my kids get on once and they ain't want to get back on. Hey, you can break your back on the giant slide. You can even break your neck on the giant slide. You can even bump your head on the giant slide. Then watch your hands and your legs on the giant slide. It's like jumping off a roof on the giant slide.
So was that like a derelict slide that they then reopened?
Yeah. And
Oh
they put
my
way too
God.
much wax on it or
You can
something.
break your back on the giant slide. You can even break your neck on the giant slide. You can even bump your head on the giant slide. Watch your hands and your legs on the giant slide.
Wow.
Right, Steve, I need to ask you something.
It's just about over. Hold on. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, it's just about over.
It ain't much you can do on the giant slide. Need a Tylenol before you ride. On the giant slide.
Oh my God, the noise.
I know.
See, we
Right.
used to do a lot more stories than just UFOs. I like strange, weird stories like that. I think that's just a fun, stupid story. And you know what fascinated me was that these people, you take your kid up to the steps at least, right? And you got to be watching this shit, and they put their kids on it anyway. Like my wife would murder me if I put my kids on that.
So technically, Steve, talking about terrifying your children at children's parties, you recently posted a picture up on your Facebook of your child's party recently where you hired Elmo to entertain the children.
Yeah,
In my memory, however, Elmo isn't about 7 foot tall.
Well, what the fuck, man? What do you want me to do? Like, I hired a guy to be Elmo, and he wasn't like 2 foot tall. Imagine that shit.
A 7 foot Elmo. The kid's
like 7 foot. He wasn't 7 foot. He was probably like 5 foot. This guy, and then
I'm thinking like Elmo's like 2 or 3. Get the picture up, seriously.
yeah, I'm trying here. Hold on here.
Guys,
This
I
is
have to
my,
go.
Oh my God.
Like it is kind of nightmare fuel, isn't it? Big fucking furry guy. The kids loved him. They were hugging him
I
and shit.
imagine, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then this fucking Elmo was hugging my wife a little too much. You know what I mean?
Ew.
Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, Elmo? Like, back off a little bit. He was a little too friendly.
Was anybody getting tickled?
Pervy Elmo.
No, pervy Elmo. Yeah, no. He just like, you know, he was
Is
shaking her.
among cosplayers.
He was shaking the
that is
kids'
common.
hands and you know, taking pictures, and everybody. There was a lot of kids at the party, so everybody got pictures and stuff. And you know, yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Ian. I couldn't get a 2 foot tall.
The giant.
I couldn't get a 2 foot tall fucking guy to get in a red suit for me. You asshole.
Hey, that's from Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah. The giant. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I went out this morning about 7 hours ago. I went outside just to look at the sky quickly, and as soon as I went out, there was a ball of light flying to the moon. I happened to have my laser pen in my pocket. I shot it with the laser pen, and it turned the light off instantly. And I was like,
"Hey, mate."
Okay.
Oh, that's weird. And we have joining us. Estimate of the situation is joining us.
Great estimate. Then I turned to the opposite side of the sky, and another light flashed twice, really bright, and then turned off. And I was like, okay, that happens to me like more than 2-3 dozen times, where it changes to the opposite end of the sky, and it flashes bright, really bright white light twice. And I'll point my infrared camera at it, and then it just stops. I'm like, I don't know why it
But
does
for
that.
a second, I mean, you are seeing it, but it isn't being put on for you as one of 4.5 billion human beings on the planet. Why are they doing a light show for you? Just to you?
No idea. Probably because I'm
So,
shooting a
yeah.
laser beam on top of the highest mountain.
No, it doesn't go. It won't go that far.
Yeah, that's never made.
Just
That's never
doesn't go
made any
that
sense to
Laser
me.
beam shooting around.
Like you would think, if you were on an alien planet that you would try to be stealthy so you don't get murdered by the locals, right? But they come here and they flash lights at us. They want our attention then.
Yeah,
So I
I've
grabbed the
gone out
infrared
there.
camera, and then another ball of light. As soon as I walked outside I didn't even put the tripod down. A ball of light flew like to the northwest. I captured that, and I was like, yeah, that was.
Were you thinking about it?
All of that this morning? Nah, just something
When
just
you
told me
went
to go
out
outside
there?
and have a look at the sky. Sometimes something tells me to go and do something outside, and when I walk out, like something tells me go take the garbage out. All right, I go take the garbage out. I'm holding the garbage bags. There'll be a huge ball of light. Could only be a few thousand. It's like at the rooftop, like woman next door, the lady next door. It's above her rooftop. It feels like it's just like down the end of the street, only barely a couple thousand feet in the sky, just above the rooftops. They're just flying past, and I like, holy shit, drop the garbage bags, run inside, get the camera. Sometimes something tells me to go outside, and I see something as soon as I'm outside. It's like, that's weird how it's telling me to go outside.
If you're in a hot spot, you need cameras on. You need cameras on 24/7 if you're in a hot spot.
Yeah,
Get an
that would definitely help.
computer.
We
Put
want to
Linux
welcome
on.
estimate of the situation to the panel. Welcome estimate of the situation.
What's up, guys? Steven, I gotta say, man, I think we disagree heavily on a bunch of stuff, but one thing I know I can always come back to is our mutual hatred for people like David Wilcock and Stephen Greer. You know?
Yeah, there's things we can all agree on. Yes.
I think that's how I found you. And one thing I don't know how heavy this panel is in terms of like what everyone's talking about, but one thing that I think you're onto is this heavy CIA presence in the community, specifically people like Anjali and Ramir, like high-ranking people that have held positions and out of nowhere start dominating the UFO podcast circuit, disseminating all this reptilian hybrid grades, whatever, which then gets I'll run into people and they'll be like, yeah, well, Ramirez said blah blah blah. I'm like, what? Like, why is that now like a point of fact that you can refer to? But like what you're like, I think you're onto it. Where you're seeing is like that dissemination move forward and people build on that lore. And I just wonder, like, what the fuck is going on? Why are like these seemingly competent people at very high positions in these institutions start coming out saying, oh my God, yeah, I met these aliens at the Mojave Desert. And then Anjali specifically, like she put together a whole press conference, right? You know,
yeah, but no press showed up. That's the funny part.
Yeah, but it's still you have to organize that, you know, to go to those links and then
it was her and that Alan Steinfeld wackadoo guy did that together.
I just don't get it, man. I don't know why. Like I'm at a loss.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
Here's a question: Why do aliens avoid black people at all costs?
I don't know that they do. There's a few guys that are alien
Yes,
abducted.
entire African
African
villages
American.
abducted.
Besides who was it? Betty and
Barney Hill.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, that guy was
Besides them,
black.
I never
was
really
dark
seen
pearl,
any.
wasn't
Yeah, Barney Hill was black. He was African American. But you're
Yeah,
right. I
that's the
mean,
only one I
it's
pretty much
largely
knew about. I don't
Caucasian
know
people.
anybody else.
It's largely Caucasian people, I would say.
That's an interesting point. There's not equity in UFO experiencers. What's up with that?
Aliens are racist.
Which one of you guys is
What's his name? Billy Carson.
Yeah,
he's all right, really.
Oh,
If
that
you-
guy's so full of shit. He waddles when he walks. Come on.
He's a skeptic, though. He seems to pull both sides, but I don't know.
If you say so. He made a documentary about the Black Knight satellite. That's been debunked for decades.
And he was in that question panel with Greer the other day, where he booked the posh hotel to lend credence to his story. It sounded like the questions he was getting from the audience. Well, he got one from Billy Carson. So
And that's another thing about Greer's
And the other-
conference. He's there to do a press conference. Who does he take questions from? Billy
Well, the other
Carson.
woman that asked questions
Billy
sounded like
Carson.
Lindsay
No, but
Moulton Howe.
listen. Look who Stephen Greer took questions from. Apala Estera, who works for Third Phase of Moon, and Third Phase of Moon works for Stephen Greer. He took questions from Billy Carson, who also works with and for Stephen Greer, and Third Phase of Moon. It's not like CNN showed up to ask Stephen Greer questions. It was people that worked for him asking the questions in this bullshit fake press conference at the end. They were prearranged questions, and Greer had talking points prepared for those questions. So it was all stagecraft. There was no press.
You know what's fucking crazy?
Press conference with no press.
Yeah, there was. I knew people that were there, and they said there was no it's not like CNN showed up with cameras or Fox or
it wasn't the press.
MSNBC.
Well, it wasn't the press. It was the National Press Club, which is like a convention hall.
Yeah,
And you
I can rent
have-
one next week. We could do a Truthseekers
exactly.
National Press
Yeah.
Club event next week if
Yep.
I have the money to
Yep.
rent a room.
Yep.
You know?
Why did the management tell them they had to get out by 5? I don't understand.
Well, because
Something
you rent it by
important.
you rent those big rooms by the hour, and they probably had to set up for
That's
the next
right.
person who
Yeah.
had an
Yep.
evening event going or something like that.
There's a bar mitzvah coming next.
You know what's crazy is like
So
I'm
basically,
hearing
basically
people-
what this is when people rent an office, people have a small business that they run out of their home, and in order to make a website and make themselves look official, they rent an office in the city for a day, take all their laptops with them, put them out on the tables and stuff, and then they look legitimate. That's how it works. This is just an extension of that.
Oh, it worked because people kept repeating what he said at that conference, and people kept saying how impressed they were with him, which I couldn't believe, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people
Well,
hear what they want to
he
hear.
impressed them with the pretty pictures. That's what it was.
They were nice pictures. I'll give them that. They were nice pictures. I just wish they were actual photographs or a body that's out on the table or something.
Did anyone try and do a reverse Google search of the Portaloos and the cars parked next to the singular lift?
Yeah, you gotta. I think he baffled. That saying though, if you can't,
There's a queue for the toilet at the bottom because it only takes 2 people at a time.
This
So
is saying though, like if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit, and that's what this whole thing was. Now he's got how many whistleblowers and how many had evidence? He's got 6 whistleblowers there, and none of them had any evidence. They just had pretty pictures that were pre-drawn, and they had their story, and that's it. And several of those guys' stories are falling apart. There was the Coast Guard guy who apparently somehow recovered a flying saucer from the bottom of the Mariana Trench in a little Coast Guard trawler that doesn't. That thing has 200 feet of cable. The Mariana Trench is 7 miles deep. They weren't recovering shit from the bottom of the trench with that thing.
How did they get down there?
And the guy telling the story, my favorite part of that is the guy got thrown out of the Coast Guard for selling magic mushrooms on base and on ship. He got thrown out of the Coast Guard, and suddenly he remembers a story about recovering a flying saucer right before he got busted for selling magic mushrooms. Greer is ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous.
The $2 billion thing is also like it just fucking blows my mind. Like you think a military apparatus would spend $2 billion on good faith that you would shut up about UFOs instead of just taking you out for like a fraction of the price? You know, I don't know like how people can get past certain things that this guy has said or done, and then still show up and pay for this stuff. It's crazy,
isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if he's hiring these people. If he's just hiring, somebody. Just,
it could. They could be coached, paid people. You know?
It's just okay. We found this veteran. He was in the military for like 6 months. Looking like it. That's the. Because people aren't going to look past if they do like a background check. Oh, well, he was just in the military. Oh, okay. Well, they're not going to look too deep into besides that.
Somebody saying that I took their dad's saying and giving the shout out. I don't know what that is in reference to, but okay.
That one guy said he had his ribbons taken away from him while he was thirsty.
Yeah, and that Marine with the story about the drug running and the flying saucer, that guy's story is falling apart too, because now real military people are like analyzing what he said and talking about how.
Okay. All right, everyone take deep breaths, okay? There's an Eastern European country that the Russians were invading, and we were nearly in World War III. We were getting daily updates, and about a week ago, they stopped. And exactly the same day, the UFOs came out. And we haven't had any more news since, just UFOs.
It's called misdirection.
Oh. Look at the silly monkey. Look at the silly monkey, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know if the mainstream media is really picking up what's been going on the last week. Like you got like News Nation, but they're News Nation.
Yeah, they're News Nation. It's like no frills CNN, and everybody that works at News Nation was like fired from a real other news station. Yeah. Like they have Chris Cuomo and every other loser that got fired.
Well,
they've got Ross Coulthart now, and Ross Coulthart got thrown out of. Ross Coulthart got thrown out of 60 Minutes Australia because he had a completely and totally fake story about the British Parliament and a pedo ring.
But I like
that. Is this just an enchanting device? Is this just a device to enchant the public to keep them thinking whilst?
Yep.
Whatever happens over there happens. Because if this fades out, and doesn't amount to anything, we know who the allowed or government shills, not necessarily paid, but the ones that are allowed.
That's why this whole Trump indictment thing's happening, because it's a cover up for the aliens.
Or the aliens are a cover up for the Trump thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And
well, that's the thing. Any one of these things can be a distraction, right?
Oh my, counter distraction.
It's definitely. I think it's funny though that all these UFO
agent.
I think it's funny though that all these so-called UFO disclosure shows are like running with what could quite possibly be a CIA narrative that they want put out. It's like they got a bunch of bobos who are like, I'll get views from this. And they're all fucking licking that guy's asshole already. And the story's falling apart already. Like, maybe you ought to pause the asshole licking until you see if the guy's story pans out. Because it would appear that this guy's just talking to the same old people, Eric Davis and Gary Nolan, and all these people that haven't proven these stories for 20 years now. Yeah. But now they got a new talking head at the center of it.
Could be. I mean, I do think he does believe what he says, and it might be because of that.
He might have been manipulated to be a bobo, you know.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the outskirts. I like to just kind of listen to pretty much, like people like you, people on the other side, and just kind of make a decision that way. But I do, talking about distractions, Stephen, I did want to ask you, there is a clip which was scrubbed from YouTube. It had David Wilcock's phone call to, I forgot who it was, but he was basically crying. His life was in danger, and he was fake crying his way through it.
That was a phone call between him and Kerry Cassidy. I may have it somewhere. If I could find it, I'll drag
Please,
it out.
I have been looking for it.
Yeah.
I remember that phone call.
I'll ask in my Discord too. If I can't find it, somebody will find it.
That was the most fucking cringe thing I mean, I love it.
Yeah, he was worried that he was about to get assassinated by the Order of the Dragon or something. Remember? Like, they're sending ninja combat warriors into my house with guns, Kerry Cassidy. They're going to murder me. Because I'm getting too close to the truth about them aliens. It was ridiculous.
Have you guys ever seen a channel called Y-Files?
Yes, yeah, fish.
I'm kind of confused about it. Is it skeptic or is it believer? I don't.
No, he's getting both ends of the spectrum because he runs the stories like they're true, and then he does the live stream and debunks it and rips it apart. So he's got the best of both worlds. Because if you just watch the story, it would seem like he believes the story is true, but then when you watch the live streams, he just rips the story apart. Which
did you check? Kurt Jamungle was doing a stream at the start of this week about the UFOs and everything, and he pulled it apart as well. He said it's most likely propaganda.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting that Kurt said that. He's a pretty smart guy, so
he uses very big words.
What do you think about the part where they're on News Nation? They go with the narrative that they might be unfriendly. So when
UFO threat. Now we have an alien threat.
The Tucker Carlson way of doing things.
Yeah.
If they have the tech to kill us, so the fact they haven't killed us means they don't want to kill us, or they can't.
Well, I heard that point too. That they would have killed us by now if they wanted to annihilate it. They would have. It looks like they would have the ability to do that already.
We literally know nothing there. It could be against galactic law to kill us.
Oh man, we got it. We got the David Wilcock thing. We have it.
Yay!
Hold on, this is fucking gold.
I gotta go after this, but I'm so fucking glad I stayed.
It's not real long. It's like 15 minutes, I think. Hold on.
And she's going to tell you more about that. But I'm also going to have David Wilcock on the air with me here, who has just received a death threat, and we are going to ask our audience to surround him with white light. And
when ninjas are trying to kill you, you just need people to focus white light on you.
Here.
Hello, I'm Steven Seagal.
Hold on one second.
What a fucking dildo this guy is.
Do we have David Wilcock and Maxine Taylor? If we could just add them, if there is any chance of adding the guests and getting them here onto this call.
I'm here.
Okay, hi, David. You're there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me repeat this. David Wilcock has received a death threat. I've asked him to come on my show at the last minute here after I just got a notice myself about it. We have contacted the necessary people to protect him, and they are going to be doing that. But
necessary people.
That's who I would call if ninjas were breaking in my house trying to kill me. I would call Kerry Cassidy.
If you have any means to address this situation from multiple of angles, please do so. So go ahead, David, and tell your story, and let's deal with this.
Gold.
All right.
He's already fucking crying.
Right, he's working it up.
It's okay. Let's take it one step at a time.
One step at a time, David.
And I just want to say that you are beloved by many people out there, and I have contacted a very important person who can definitely come to your aid in every way. And so do not worry.
Don't worry about the ninjas.
Will be done on your behalf, and I have to say, I've seen the future, and you're going to be fine.
I've seen your future.
Yeah. So I've been covering this Fulford story, and I released information about something that is much more secret than UFOs.
Uh-oh.
And I was called today after I put this online, and this particular individual was called by two different people.
Uh-oh.
And one of them said, "Do you like David Wilcock?" That was how he started the conversation.
I don't like that.
I just heard, "Do you like cock?"
And he said that both of these people basically said the same thing, which is that I need to get part 2 of the article out tonight. They wouldn't go into detail.
You better finish that article, motherfucker.
That,
we're going to send ninjas.
That if I was tortured, that would be lucky. And
torture is lucky.
That probably I wouldn't make it. But that if I get through the next 3 days, that I'll probably be okay.
Wow, what a coincidence. Convenient.
I would be much safer if I could get this information out tonight, because I was led to believe that if someone is going to come and talk to me and give me the gun or the money game where they try to buy me out or
the old
threaten me with
72
death,
law.
It's the gun or the money, motherfucker. David
or
Wilcock.
something like that, mind control kind of things. I don't know.
And piss
But
himself if anybody was really there.
basically, all I have before that team could show up here is tonight. So I felt like, I'm sorry for crying.
I'm sorry.
No, David, you know we're with you, and really,
wow.
it's okay. You know, you are surrounded by incredible light, as you know.
Wow, that really helps when ninjas are trying to.
And you are
when
so
ninjas are
loved.
trying to fucking stab you to
I
death,
wasn't
white
naming
light's
anyone
really
who
not going to do
broadcast on
shit,
radio.
Terry Cassidy.
Please, ask them to
One of them's named Michelangelo.
David,
Raphael.
you are
such a bad
you are
actor,
totally going to be okay. What matters
saw the
here
future.
is that
Everything
you
will be
keep it
fine.
together, and that you are able to tell us the story, because this is going to protect you. The truth.
Okay.
Putting it out there. This is what's going to protect you. Okay. Once
She's
it's
in
out
on this,
there,
right?
They can't touch you. It's in the
yeah.
public
Oh, yeah.
domain. So let's get it out there.
All right.
It's me.
I'll pull it
Hi.
together.
I'm the problem.
Fulford
it's
has
me.
never. Okay.
Spooky is here. Welcome.
I guess. Okay. The context. This is what I now know.
Hey, he just name dropped the
been in touch-
context.
Yeah, Daniel was in the live
I've been in
chat.
touch with Benjamin Fulford.
Yeah, I'm
he
sorry,
came
I
out on the
didn't-
scene
I
in
didn't see
2007,
Spooky
as we
because
all
there
know.
was- Spooky was on row 2.
And what he ultimately has been saying is that there's an alliance of 117 nations, and those nations are aligned against the Illuminati.
Uh-oh.
Which, if you don't know, is the
Fucking Illuminati.
secret
Trying to
political
murder
leadership
David Wilcock.
of the G5 countries, and not a whole lot else anymore. They were running a lot of other countries by proxy.
He threw smoke
They were
alarms
having
at the
puppet
ninjas.
dictators running a lot of these countries in the Middle East and in Africa. And those countries are now claiming back their sovereignty. And the tip of the spear of what they have been planning to blow this whole thing open is a lawsuit. Fulford has been talking about this lawsuit on his website for at least a year and a half. The website was published. It was
That's what I think
filed.
about when I see
Fulford
the
said it would be
Illuminati
filed
a lot.
on November 15th. It was filed on November 23rd. It's
He's not crying
111
anymore.
pages long. It's incredibly intricate. I downloaded it when it first showed up. I thought it was bullshit when it first showed up because they quoted from Wikipedia regarding the Davos World Economic Forum. I wrote a long missive on Benjamin Fulford's website saying that I thought this thing was bullshit.
Oh, wow.
After
He
that,
needs a medal for retaining
people who were
composure.
responsible for filing the lawsuit contacted me personally
You should hear him
We
channel
began
Raw.
a relationship which has led to an extensive amount of contact. They have sent me over 500 photographs. They have sent me dozens of documents. These documents apparently have put a bounty on my head.
Oh, he's got a bounty on
I
him.
now have seen the
Why would
book
they
of
send him
Maklumat, the
documents
book
with
of
a bounty
codes.
on
I
his
have
head?
seen the exact documentation that will bring these people down. It's in my possession. I am soon going to be getting it, very soon going to be getting it to other people who already have the Wilcock file. You people know who you are.
Oh, the Wilcock
Please do not
file.
inspect the file. Only
Kevin
go
said
with
it's
category
dead
1
here.
distribution if something happens to me. If you
Category
look
1
in the
distribution.
revealing folder, I have a list of criteria. Do not release category 2 unless the criteria of the revealing folder are met. At least 3 of the points in that folder must be met before you release category 2. But category
Remember,
1
everyone, this was 12 years
would
ago.
only occur if I am killed. Okay, if you don't hear from me
Shoving
in
the
3 or
bounty
4
on his
days,
head.
They say
then
killed
go ahead and put
or
it out
killed.
there. In addition to that, if I put out a code phrase, as you guys know, because it's in the revealing folder, and that code phrase says that if you see that in my next update, then you have to go with distribution plan 1. And that's all in the folder. Okay, so this is what we need to do. This is the plan that I put in place. I never expected I would need to use this. Carrie, you know, I told you
Why is he hitting his
I
table
recorded
so much?
everything.
No.
It's a betrayal, but I recorded everything
He's Googling
that
ideas.
happened when I was on the phone with Henry Deacon. I told him this when he was out here. That's part of what's in that file. There's a lot of other very juicy things in that file. Don't make me do this, please. Okay. I mean, okay.
Doesn't
I
he
gotta
still
calm
talk about
down.
Ninjas, or am I conflating it with something else?
So these people, here's the story. Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations, 1700s, wrote this document in which he said that if countries hold gold, that they are a risk to the world.
Oh,
This is the basis of what everything else that follows in the story comes from. Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations. The
So-
argument was that the people
They're
who
killing
hold the
him over the
gold could
gold
take it out of one
standards?
country and move it to another. Therefore, a country's national sovereignty is at risk if they have gold. Any one country that is on the gold standard or any precious metal standard is a risk to the rest of the world.
Oh,
They
right.
become a detriment to the world. The argument was that the gold has to be kept off of the market, kept out of the international market. This is the biggest secret. The gold had to be confiscated so that originally the idea was that wealth would be created in proportion to the amount of wealth that the people of that nation are creating. In other words, the country issues fiat currency against the wealth
And somebody's
created
gonna
by their
murder
nation.
him
The
over
problem
this
was if you have a
bullshit?
gold
Really?
standard and you have people being born and they make more things and they create more wealth, there's no more extra gold, and so the price of money goes up, which means if people have money, it becomes worth less and less and less, and it destroys the country. So ultimately, you have to eliminate the gold standard in order to prevent against inflation, like you saw in Weimar Republic, Germany, where people have money in a wheelbarrow to buy a loaf of bread. And this plan
This is what I hear from
moved
Fox
forward
News.
with the British Empire secretly run by the Rothschilds, working as a proxy where they knew that 85% of the
Fucking
world's
Rothschilds,
gold was
they're behind
contained in
everything.
Asia. The reason why it was in Asia was that the people of the world, including the Roman Empire and the Spaniards much later, were taking all the gold in the world and they were using that gold to pay for things that were coming from China, Asia, Indonesia, including
No
things
shit,
like
really?
spices that were very exotic and unavailable anywhere else, ceramics such as fine silks with beautiful patterns and colors, very fine china and pottery, these elaborate
I didn't know
vases
China
that had
comes
gold
from
leaf
China.
painting on them
So
of
does silk.
dragons and
Wow.
things like this. People wanted this stuff. It was way better quality than anything else in the world, and they paid for it in gold. And somehow, because China had really good stuff, they ended up with most of the world's gold. Is this all clear so far, Carrie?
Oh, this is crystal
well,
clear. It's
it,
fucking bunch
it
of
is
nonsense.
as a historical.
Is this
Okay.
fucking bunch
sort
of
of
bullshit
history.
clear enough?
But
Yeah.
at this moment, I think that people are going to be
This is on
confused
Fox
as
News
to
every
why
night.
this has centered on you.
This
Okay,
is literally what
um,
Fox News talks about.
It turns out that the Rothschild/British Empire invaded Japan and used Japan to go after China. There was Emperor Hirohito in 1921 went to London and they created the Bank of International Settlements. A secret treaty was made at this time. Fulford has been given this information. He's not apparently used about 90% of the information that these people have been giving him. I don't know why, but it was given to me, and I'm trying to give it to you as fast as I can right now. In 1921, the Bank of International Settlements was created. They created a plan, a very secret plan, in which all the gold in the world would be confiscated and put under deposit secretly. That did occur. It occurred through Hirohito and his Japanese army in a plan called Golden Lily, where they invaded China and they plundered the gold out of China. First, they came in with bandits. The bandits robbed them of the gold, killed people. Then the Japanese army comes in and says, "Oh, you got a bandit problem, we'll save you." When in fact, it's two sides of the same coin. The gold was stored in various locations. Now, here's the important part. There are 2 million tons of gold on deposit held by the Bank of International Settlements and the Federal Reserve. Secretly,
This is so stupid because if the gold market got flooded with 2 million, all this gold, then gold would instantly be worth half as much or less or something. Like this
the
doesn't
countries
work.
of the world
Do you not
have
see that
this money on deposit.
It's the amount of information that he's putting forward. You literally mentally can't keep up with it. If you're a human,
It's an infomercial.
wow, he
The
really
amount
knows
of
his
money
Let's get to
in
the end of it, and then we can
actual
talk
terms
about it.
of the spot value of gold,
one
based
more
on my
minute.
calculation of the spot price of gold as of 4 days ago, the amount of money that they actually have is $11 million trillion.
11
Everything
million
you think
trillion.
you've been told about how gold is scarce is not true.
It's 11
This is
trillion
the
million
biggest secret.
dollars.
This is what people are shitting their pants, and they do not want me to talk about this because nobody expected this was going to make it out
Call
into the
this
open.
number now.
And that's what's happening right now.
That's so
That's the
stupid.
secret. That's the
That's
story.
what
The
it
story
is.
is
It's the stupid
that through the
scam
threat
gold
that led up to World
commercials.
War II, much of the gold in the world was plundered. It was plundered in the U.S. because they made it illegal to own gold. If you had gold, they took it out of your safe deposit box. The
What?
Jews were robbed of their gold. They had much of the gold in Europe.
Oh, I thought he was going to blame the Jews for a minute there. Uh-oh.
So we'll talk more about that after the break, I guess.
That was some funky
He
music.
didn't die though, did he?
Oh, God, no, he didn't.
Unfortunately not.
The ninjas
It's
didn't
literally
get him.
an ad. For
I swear
gold.
there's another phone call where he's talking about ninja assassins coming into his house. Isn't there, Spooky?
It rings a bell, but I don't know where to find
Yeah.
that one.
And welcome, Spooky, and thank you for all your help in getting us to this
You're most welcome.
wonderful thing. Are you allowed to talk about this film yet or no?
No.
You fucking... listen, I'm getting sick of fucking telling people that I'm not allowed to say anything either. So you better fucking start talking about this dumb just shit. Like I'm running out of excuses.
That's not how it works.
Oh shit!
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works, man.
Yeah, apparently.
Stephen, come on! It's like stage illusion. You can't ruin the trick before the trick happens.
Yeah,
can
well,
you?
Spooky is not
Come
just
on.
a film producer now. Spooky is a fucking secret agent film producer that's not allowed to talk publicly about the fucking film that's being produced. But okay.
Well, I can
It's a little
talk about-
frustrating. I'm getting
I can
tired of
talk about
people
the
asking me
contacting-
about it. I'm just going to start sending them to you. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I can talk about the Contact in the Desert vlog that I shot.
They put so much effort into
Do that.
these-
Do that. Carrie, do that.
It's I think we're releasing on Thursday. It's like an hour and a half long.
Uh-oh.
It was really cool. There's all the Totiwaba people. We all met in person for the first time. Well, all of us in the same place for the first time.
What were the skies like out there
It was very, very hot and very blue.
at night? At night, though.
Oh, at
What
night.
was the-
It was pretty clear. We spent a lot of time like in the courtyard, which is all like lit by flame pits and stuff. So
Okay, yeah. Did you not get much dark sky? Because the stars are just.
if I went away from the fire
exquisite.
pits, yeah, but the fire pits are warm.
Jealous,
Here's-
mate, jealous.
Here's the thing about it all. They put all this effort into these stories. Why not just make a series of novels and be done with it? Why try to scam people when you just make it
Because
sci-fi
fiction
series or
novels
something
don't
and do
sell.
legit.
Fiction
Well-
novels don't sell. We heard Corey Good talk about it was public relations, right? And marketing to tell people the stories were true.
Can you not see the dual
Sell better.
thing that they're doing? So he's saying on one hand that he needs this disclosure from the government for the good of mankind, and then on the other hand is placing that suggestion of information, not even the information, behind a paywall and getting you to pay for that. So you never ever get any answers.
No, it's like the Whitley Strieber books. It's like, okay, so you read Communion, you read
actually
about the
reading
robot that
Communion right
had
now.
cardboard armor and all that stuff, and the crying gray in the woods and all that crap. And then he ends it, and then he brings out another book. Well, you can't find out the real truth about the aliens until you read this other book, and it's just an endless slog of just bullshit.
So what's the truth, though? What's the truth? What's his actual experience? I mean, when you say it's all bullshit, what are you expecting to see or hear from his experience? I'm not saying it's, it's not.
Okay,
shit.
so doctors don't provide cures necessarily. They provide palliative care.
Yeah.
So they provide care for your condition. They don't provide a cure for it, because if they cured it, you wouldn't come back to them and they'd be out of money. So the palliative care is this route that they take. So we have a guy who worked in an emergency room. Now, I dated a nurse on an acute admissions ward for a couple of years, and the stories that she would come home with of real mental people that had been through, that had told them about aliens and various encounters that they'd had, and she'd come back and tell you about these and think that they were loony until she had an experience of her own.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, if Greer has worked as a doctor and is in a position where he's expected to provide answers, works in that area for 3 years, 2 years, he's going to get hundreds of cases of people that come through and tell him all kinds of crazy stories, and he is responsible for giving them answers.
So true.
And that's where he's grown from. And he never gives anyone any answers. He only ever gives them palliative care.
But this whole entire UFO, I don't know if we want to call it industry or whatever, media, it's all about people telling their testimony. It's all about an experience, or it's a repressed memory that came back to them later on. None of it is where we're seeing any real facts, or what makes it legitimate. Would it be legitimate if our government came out and said, oh yeah, we are definitely identifying this, here's the pictures, here's the everything, here's the DNA, here's this, here's that. At that point, I think even then you probably have people say that they didn't believe it, but at least that would be something that would be more tangible to think that it's real. But just hearing people's stories about something, or them saying they work for it, they were on a special mission on Mars, and then came back in another clone body and was digressed back to 15 years old, went back to college, but they lived until 30 on another planet. Okay, you know what? That sounds so fantastic. Let's write a screenplay about it. But there's no way that there's anything beyond what that person is telling you. How do they prove their story? They can't. And that's the problem with News Nation, is that News Nation did all these, they're allowing attributions from David Grush that are based on other people's, them telling him what the documents are without him being able to show it to anybody, or even, I don't know, I'm still kind of confused with whether or not he's even seen these documents. It's simply conversations. And that's a weak attribution. When you are telling a story, a news station shouldn't be allowed to have that many attributions on something to say this is legitimate. We want to know who the source is, because it's because of the source that we as people who read a story can decide whether or not that source is credible or not to be even saying that. And so, overall, until that changes in any of this, I think that it's just going to be something that we're going to continue to talk about and speculate, because it's not tangible yet.
I think you're right. Mostly, we just get the person's testimony, and to some people,
you know, people argue with me and they say, well, testimony is accepted in court as evidence, Stephen. But go look at cases that have just testimony and no evidence and see how many of those court cases are won.
Are you still in the room, Carrie? Carrie?
Hello.
Carrie, do you remember the British TV show where they showed the audience this bit of video and then afterwards asked them questions about it and said, did you notice the gorilla walking back and forth in the background? Yeah. Okay. So we could arguably say that method of visual control in the audience where something blatantly happens in the scene, yet nobody sees it. And it's in a gorilla walking back and forth in the background as well. You can't miss it. But you do when you watch it. It's the weirdest thing.
Classic misdirection. Look here while other things happen.
I saw something like that where they can
do that times 10, can't they?
They got a hot chick to wash a chalkboard off, and she was like super hot and in hot pants and like big busted, and she was bending over cleaning this chalkboard. And then when she was done, she like sat down or moved or whatever. I don't know where she went. She went off screen, but I think it was like a college class. And the professor or whoever said, if any of the men in this audience can tell me what color the rag she was using to wash the blackboard off, I'll give you $1,000. And not one man could tell. They were too focused on the goods. They didn't. That's misdirection. And by the way, they do use that in magic. There's a floating illusion that my wife and I used to do, and you have to do something that's pretty bold to make this thing work. And you don't want people looking at your hands and what you're doing with the prop while you're doing it. So I used to just plant one on my wife, like really just slop her up, like grab her and slop her up, like with tongues and everything, like so that the whole audience is just looking at me like, and they never saw what I was doing. Never. They were too busy focused on me kissing the hot girl. It works. Misdirection works. It works for sure. That's for sure. It's the human brain. It works like that. Where are you paying attention on something,
Oh, I forgot that since this is important, since I'm wearing the shirt today, look, one second. I have the UFO. Oh,
shit.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get that comment down here.
Oh, okay.
I have the UFO Circle Jerkers shirt on today. and I want to thank also for helping us to get to the 1 million views. Besides Spooky and Mr. Ian, we really should thank Simon Fly, who did something fun. Spooky came here to visit, and he requested a soundbite from us, and then he did this, and we'll be back right on the other side of this.
We nailed it in one take.
This is just 2 minutes long, but this is my favorite of all the music videos that we've played on Truthseekers. This one is my favorite. This is for all of the UFO circle.
Oh, Carrie looks so young in this.
All of the UFO circle jerkers. This is for you. I have to find
You had
it.
one job.
I know. Well, there's two. He keeps making so many of them. It's not my fault. All right, I'll find it, and when I find it, we'll play it. I apologize, friends. That's a different circle jerk thing.
There's so many of them, you just lose count.
I did really like that. The other video that I really loved of his is when he took those people that were channeling blue aliens and made a music video out of it. Let's take a look at that one.
The original.
no one in the UFO community showed you the truth? Garbage peddler. Why has no one in the UFO community showed you the truth? Garbage peddler. Why has no one in the UFO community showed you the truth? Garbage peddler. Why has no one in the UFO community showed you the truth? Garbage peddler club, and I ain't it. Cosmic Con Shuffle. Cosmic Con Shuffle.
And I can't find it in bumper form, but I can share it on my screen. I found it on Simon's channel here. This is the one with me and Spooky.
Look, I'm on TV.
Harry, you look like you're 8 there.
I'm wearing 2 hats.
It's smart talk.
Blake Cousins, we got a special report for you today. The Disclosure Project.
What a circle jerker that guy is.
Special report for you today. The Disclosure Project. The Disclosure Project.
Top secret military witness testimony. Witnesses who are whistleblowers, unconstitutional, 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 unconstitutional. Top secret military witness testimony. Witnesses who are whistleblowers, unconstitutional, 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 unconstitutional.
DC Muscle Wolf would know.
UAPs, otherwise known as UFOs.
That guy's a dickhead.
Otherwise known as UFOs. UAPs, otherwise known as UFOs.
Oh my God.
UAPs, otherwise known as UFOs.
The Mod Talk Project. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I never in a million years thought that I would be singing a duet with Jimmy Church, right?
Dude, I might be in the minority here, but I feel like there's definitely like a clear distinction between people like Greer and like what's going on with Grish right now. And I'm not saying believe one or the other, but I just feel like one is definitely asking you for money, and the other,
He's going to ask you for money. He didn't get there yet. I guarantee it. I don't know if you know this, estimate, but this is very important. And I clarified this point 3 times with the sources. When this David Grush was meeting with the Canadian Member of Parliament, he and Gary Nolan started talking about something. And Ross Coulthart was on the phone through teleconference in the meeting too. And he stopped them and he said, "You can't talk about that yet. We have to save that for the documentary." So apparently David Grush already has a documentary deal. He just hasn't disclosed that yet. He's going to be asking for money, and he probably will be working all these conferences soon. And he doesn't have a job, dude. What do you think he's going to do? He just put his whole life on the line for this.
Roscoe
He's going
did
to
not
fill his
agree.
pockets.
Damn.
This sounds more and more like a church thing than anything else.
Yeah.
Give me
Well,
more money.
On that somber note, I just just want to remind everyone we're all into this for a reason, right? And
yeah.
A lot of distractions out there. Keep your eye on the prize. And for me personally, like you go back into documents in the 40s and 50s, there's definitely something fucking around with our military. And there's a real mystery here. So if we can all find a way to cut through the fucking circus somehow, and just remember that, then I don't know. Maybe something good will come out of it. But yo, it's been fun. Thank you for the Wilcock replay.
Sure.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap things up soon here. So, but thanks for stopping by, and I appreciate what you're doing on Twitter. I like watching your feed.
Good night,
Thanks, man. Later, guys.
Night, dude.
I like the
All
art
right.
comment.
Thank you very much. Just close out the tab to go away. All right, and then there were 9. So we're going to be wrapping.
Fellowship of Drifting.
Yes, I think we're going to be wrapping things up here. I want to take a moment to thank all of you kind and generous benefactors. We want to thank all of our panel members, and we certainly want to thank Spooky and Simon Fly and Mr. Ian for helping us to reach this, always pitching something in to contribute.
We love you, Spooky.
I love you too. Thanks.
Hey, to the Aussies in the future there.
Thanks for letting me come on and act up.
Yeah.
I'm like Michael J. Fox with a hoverboard and the Nike shoes that lace themselves.
Yes, mate.
All right, I'm gonna throw all you people out of here. Thank you one and all for joining us.
Congratulations
by the
again,
way,
Steven.
yes, this is just like a bonus. This is just a bonus show for the week. I said I'm doing 3 shows a week, so tomorrow night we have Jack Brewer, and we're going to be talking about this new whistleblower craze with a real serious researcher. And thank you, Miss Terry, for joining us. I'm going to throw you out, but don't be a stranger. We come back.
Congratulations on doing this.
Oh, it's
mate.
Mystery. I'm sorry, Mystery. I won't screw that up again. Now I know.
Mystery.
Thank you, Mystery. And Midor, the friendly ET.
Yes. Bye, man.
Thank you for adding some levity, and we appreciate you. You have a great evening, and thanks for being here. And then we have I'm sorry, Stone.
Who will survive the purge
2.
now?
Yes.
Stone.
Thank you for being here. Don't be a stranger. Yes, and Mario's Taco. Taco?
Yeah.
Mario's Taco. I won't get that wrong again. Thank you for being
That's
here.
Mario's.
Yes,
Hey.
Mario's always in the live chat. Big show support. Thanks for being here. I'm glad to put a name, a face to the name. All right, you have a good evening. All right, and then we have Terry Joyce.
I know, it's like, why am I still here?
Why don't you tell everybody where they can check out your rabbit hole?
Yeah, you can check out my rabbit hole at Not My Rabbit Hole with Terry
gross,
Joyce.
but-
I know. It's, you can check out my rabbit hole at Not My Rabbit Hole with Terry Joyce. And I'm actually starting to cover this too as well. And so, yeah, I'm doing my own commentary on the...
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I appreciate everybody should go and subscribe if you haven't already. Terry Joyce, friend of the show, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
All right, and we have Mr. Ian, the silky smooth voice of Truth Seekers. We thank you for all your contributions and for helping us to get this far.
Always just doing it for the love.
All right, you have a
Keep
good
growing
evening.
the beard, man. That's a good beard.
Yes, and Spooky.
It's me. Hi.
Yeah, these panel shows, everybody wants to do them, and then it's kind of nerve wracking because not a lot of people were joining at first. You know,
It's okay. There were other
panel
shows
of-
going on. Like I had a show before this show, so
yeah, there must be a lot going on tonight. I think
Tuesday.
So, well, yeah. All right. Well, don't be a
Then-
stranger, and I hope
won't.
you're at the next panel for the 2 million view celebration.
Oh,
Hopefully,
it
that
will
one
be-
won't take as
it won't-
long.
It will be in no time at all. This has been just another day in ufology, my friends. It's good to be here. Good to see all.
Do you want to plug your crap and tell everybody where to find you at now?
Plug my crap.
still-
You can find me on
The
Twitter
Crystal-
at Fires of. At
He's
Fires
on the
of
Crystal
Truth.
Hippie Bitch show. And what else?
I am on the Crystal Hippie Bitch show. That one time I was abducted by aliens or Totty Wabba. You can find us. We have some cool stuff coming up. We have 2 shows a week. We alternate one show with another show every 2 weeks. And we have an epic vlog from Contact in the Desert coming out probably Thursday. So
that's awesome.
Come over and subscribe. It's a really cool movie. It's actually really heartfelt. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah,
really
I
cool.
told Spooky to get me a lot of clips from Contact in the Desert, and instead Spooky made a film of Spooky's own. Thanks, Spooky.
It was mostly
oh
just
wait!
us all
Before you
hanging out.
go, I'm pissed off at you because
great.
Ryder was there, and he said,
Yeah.
I see Ismail Perez walking around, and I
Yeah.
wanted Ryder to go up to him and say, like, hey, it's the Kryptonian. Do you remember me from the secret space program? And he said, I need somebody to film it or something. And then he found you, and you wouldn't do it. Come on,
What?
man.
No, he
That's
asked
what he
me.
said.
He asked me to. I think he asked me to go up, and I was like, "I'll film it." I can't.
Oh,
Dude, there was
okay.
so much.
It's
It was
understood.
chaos.
All right. And,
It was
you know,
utter
that would have been a
chaos.
funny clip, but you know,
I highly recommend if you want to like. This isn't like other conferences where you have to pay to meet people. Like the speakers are just walking around or at the bar. You can just go up and talk to them and ask them your own personal questions, which was really, really cool. And
Okay.
I highly recommend considering going.
So
if you have
$150
questions you wanna ask
autographs
people.
this time?
No, it was none of that.
Oh, okay, good.
It was great. It went really smooth. It was, you know, I can't say
Well, I'm
too
happy
much
to hear
because
it.
I know too much, but it was great. It was great, and I recommend everybody go next year. It was really fun, and you'll see on the
Okay.
vlog how much fun it was.
All right. Well,
I met
we
Graham
thank you.
Hancock.
Yeah, I saw
Again.
the pictures.
It was great. I spoke to him about Andrew Gallimore and the DMT crossover with shamanism and the extended DMT studies, and it was a fantastic conversation.
Oh yeah, that sounds enlightening.
It was great. I loved it.
Well, thanks for all your help.
Actually, I have one funny story. So during the speakers banquet, Stephen Bassett was hosting, and he's like giving his speech about how contacts come back after COVID. It was really nice. Before he'd even got the sentence out of his mouth that the buffet was now open, I look up and see Nick Pope sprinting across the room. He's the first in the queue and walks away with a massive plate of food with a massive smile on his face. And it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. He beelined
you
across
should
that
have
room.
filmed.
I didn't have my camera with me, but
Hey,
it
look,
was-
maybe times are
it was
tough,
so
and he's
funny.
got to get that good, you know, buffet food
No,
wherever he can.
I understood because I was really hungry too, and I was just like, should I get up too? I see him running, but then actually when I went to go get food, Graham,
I would have
Hancock was
got up and
opposite me
knocked
in
him out of
queue.
the way. That's what I would have done. Get out of the way, fake British Fox Mulder.
Me, Darcy, and Graham Hancock had a conversation about diving while we were all getting food at the buffet too. That was pretty cool.
Well, that's interesting. Well, we
Yeah,
want to thank
it
you
was so
for-
casual.
I want to thank you for all your help in getting us to this milestone, and I look forward
You're
to
very welcome.
the next million.
Indeed.
So you have a good evening, and we thank you, Spooky, and Mr. Ian and Simon Fly especially. We also want to thank a few of the other people who have contributed here or just allowed me to play some of their stuff, like Cosmic Judas and like the UFO Garage. I think Anthony from Unidentified S4 contributed some things. You know, we've built a real community here, and people have been very kind and said, Stephen, I made this, and I think that it would be good on your show. You can use it. Or I ask them and they tell me. So we've been very fortunate in that regard. And I believe we've read all the super chats, but we didn't read all the PayPal pledges. For those unaware, you can also help our show through a PayPal pledge. So we want to thank, one second, we want to thank Anthony for a kind and generous $5 PayPal pledge, who just says, congrats on the 1 million views. Thank you, Anthony, for your kindness, generosity, and support. And we want to thank Sweet Caroline for a kind and generous $40 PayPal pledge, says, congrats for making it to 1 million views. So glad I found your channel 1 year ago. I saw the light. Well, thank you, Sweet Caroline, for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. And then we have, we have somebody that would prefer not to be named, but they do have a note here, and it says, congrats, brother, on the 1 millionth view. From now, it will be 20 million. Save this message, and if I'm wrong, I'll give you $5,000. Oh, from this person's mouth to God's ears. That would be a tremendous achievement. So we want to thank all of you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Thank our panel members. Oh, there's another one. We have Terry Brown with a kind and generous $5 super chat. And we also want to thank you for being a member. Says, this was great. Thanks. No, thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. It's amazing the support that we've gotten. And you guys know that we couldn't do this without you. And we also want to thank our Patreon supporters and our YouTube channel members, as well as Twitch subscribers. Every little bit of support helps. We're a viewer-supported show. And by popular demand, we also want to thank Intel Lady for contributing, and our Cash Clown. You can subscribe to Intel Lady's channel. Intel Lady is also known as Trixie, the stripper UFO expert.
Good evening. This is Trixie reporting exclusively for Truth Seekers, where we use absolutely no gimmicks whatsoever. We just give you the cold, hard facts. So Truth Seekers, what I need you to do right now is get out your telescopes. Just extend them right out, because I have an exclusive for you. Point those telescopes up to the skies, and you may see what we have seen tonight, which is a definite UFO floating above the earth. I really hope it's those sexy blue chickens that Boy Newman tells us all about. And if it is, that they will grant me the honor of giving them an exclusive interview here on Truth Seekers exclusive UFO desk.
Thanks, Trixie. They look great tonight. I mean, you look great tonight. And we want to thank Reload for two things: being a member, and for a kind and generous $5 super chat saying, congrats, can't miss it. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support, all of you. So that's what we got for you tonight, friends. And to be clear, this was unplanned. We just decided to do it at the last minute. So just consider this a bonus show. And tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we will be back with another show for all of you. We will have the excellent researcher Jack Brewer here, and we're going to be talking about this recent new craze of so-called whistleblowers and perhaps their lack of evidence as well. You don't want to miss this tomorrow night, because Mr. Brewer is an incredible researcher, and he has some real insights into the history of these so-called UFO whistleblowers. So that's all we got for you, friends. For tonight. Anyway, please do join us tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Follow me on Twitter at Stephen Cambian. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. And also, it would really help if you came back and watched one more sometime. We have a huge back catalog of previous live shows. You can use the search bar, search for a topic or a personality. It's probably in there, and we appreciate your help. It really does help with the algorithm. So that's all I got for you, friends. And thanks to each and every one of you for helping us to get past this threshold. 1 million views. We finally made it. It was a long-term goal of mine. Now we just have to get to 10,000 subscribers, and my original goal for the show will be met. And then I'll be making some newer, bigger, bolder goals for the show. So that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambian. Good night, and God bless all of you.